back again. Hey everybody, it's your boy Catharis. Time for some more Battletech BTA3062. Woohoo! Alright, so I'm having a little financial challenge. Yesterday was wonderful. Great talks. More hunchbacks. Also, a bunch of injuries and repairs. Not great. So I'm having a fund problem trying to get to buying another hunchback. So, first up on the plan is that we would like just score some hopefully easy funds here in clanner space. And then maybe we can limp along over to Kalidas to get another hunchback. But if not, then maybe we try and limp to Solaris 7 and pray for a good number of contracts for light and medium mechs, and we do those to get a little nest egg going. That's the thought. We'll see how it goes. I found a new pilot to replace Magistrix, who is completely out of action for like another 50 days or something horrible. I don't know, a long time. It makes me sad. Oh. Still need to replace these with 2 more 35 tonners that are outfitted to the gills, but we need more clanner gubbins. We need more money for more hunchbacks to shove clanner gubbins into. The eternal struggle that we are facing right now. I'd like to move forward with maybe doing the campaign and flashpoints at some point. That would be fun. But I would like to outfit a few more hunchbacks before we do that, even though I have more than enough to do the campaign. The more redundant hunchbacks I have, in case I take damage in like a progressive mission fight, I'll have more that I can draw up for the progressive missions and just swap them in while repairing in between, that type of stuff. But I also want hunchbacks for all my pilots, because that's the name of that's the goal of this playthrough. Whew. Got my coffee here. Normally I drank it all before I start, but not today. I still have some left. So if someone hits me with the hydrate hammer, that's what I'll be drinking right now.
Command interface initiated.
All right. Yes, yes, yes. We don't care about you, Darius. And your false information. Thanks, A. I appreciate it. We are gonna try. Hopefully we can get a windfall of money today. That would be fantastic. Oh, geez, they really are everywhere. All right, well, why don't we deal with the ones that are close by first?
All weapons are cold.
Limit the number of fire arcs we have. Not leave someone in the rear. Oh, that's a whole star. Alright, this might be an immediate reload. With this going.
I'm losing armor bad.
Look at all this.
Receiving you.
Man. We'll try. Give it the best college effort, but what we don't want is more things killing us.
I'm receiving you.
These type of drop right on top of me are getting old.
All right. Roger. Waiting for orders.
Alright. got 4 right on top of us.
All weapons are go.
Even though they've got spawn protection, I need to do my best to
Standing
put
by.
as much damage on these people as possible. I don't know if that is going to work. Well, there's a 5th here. Great. Well,
Copy that.
Artemis, unfortunately, you're becoming a target. Warhammer 7H.
Locking on.
Or Wolverine? I have to go look at that again.
Yes, Commander.
If only it was a Hunchback 7P. That's what I really want.
Pulling off.
Wolverine 7H, okay. It was a W.
I'm listening. I got it. Don't think. Don't shoot. Just run. Oh, now I'm just tearing you. Ready for orders.
Well, this is looking promising. Even with their spawn protection,
I
I
copy.
am chewing through that lynx. That's at least one.
Taking the shot.
If I can get it down, that would be nice.
Inflicted some heavy damage. Aye, aye.
Alright.
Copy that.
Ah, the Uziel.
Target
You've been
lock on
with me
enemy
from
rear.
the beginning, Uziel. You've always been underutilized. I didn't know what to put in you. And now I'm suffering from not enough gubbins to actually
Acknowledged.
outfit you, nor the money to do so.
Let's see how you like this.
Nothing?
I'm
No
here.
crits whatsoever? How much empty space do you have inside? Lynx is pissing me off.
Affirmative.
There we go, finally.
That's a kill. Standing by.
Okay. We put the smackdown on one. I don't like the UAC. This one has way worse firepower, though. Back to the Black Python.
This looks like a prime spot for an ambush.
Yes.
Be careful, Commander.
We
You
know
don't
it's an
want to get
ambush.
caught in the crossfire.
We dropped into an ambush. Oh, we have 2 more over here? Yeah, there's nowhere for my tanks to hide. Maybe I can slipstream straight over here and get them out of the way. I mean, that's not going to be good enough for you, but I can't use my tanks for artillery. They're just going to die.
They're coming around the side.
This is bad. I guess there's nothing for it. Slipstream this turn and pillbox next turn. Oh, wait, they can't. Of course. No. We reserve.
Holden for tactical advantage.
Hey, Nose. Welcome to the party. Thank you. How'd your stream go? I'm presuming you were doing more, of that, Game Freak game today? He played poorly. Hey,
Hey.
I know all about that. That's like my wheelhouse. Atrocious. I'm glad you had a good stream. can't afford to do anything. Well, glad it went well.
Yes, Commander.
I am in the deep end here. It is not going well
Roger. Full speed.
because of a very bad start here. I may just reload this here in a second. This start is so atrocious and unfair. It's not funny. But I wanted to at least try the initial play out here.
Standing by.
But they've put me in an unwinnable position. Oh, I'm sorry she woke you up. She was being super hungry and wouldn't let Little Toes get his food this morning. I made her some more and it's in the refrigerator. Might want to check with Zay to see if she was offered any and give her some if you can. Yep, that's it. Retry. Nose didn't eat all his food either. His food is in the fridge upstairs. But that just means you'll be hungrier for lunch. At least she wasn't super grumpy this morning. She was just getting up all in in Toes's business when he was trying to eat. I'm sorry, she's being grumpy. As the way of the cat. Sass almost didn't let me go live. She was just up all in my face. But she decided at the last minute that I would be allowed to play. Okay, how about we try a duo duel instead to start this off. Operation Fly Swatter was being mean to me. Well, either way, thank you for raiding. Go get some rest. I'll try to keep a list out for Little Nose. And when I get to a stopping point at that point, I can try and swap the Toes and
Command
Sass.
interface initiated.
Yes, Commander.
What do we got here? Opposition. Is that a Sass at my feet? Lancelot. Orion. Not a fan of missiles. I like the look of that Lancelot, though. Okay, Zay.
Commander.
Thanks for trying to feed the Kraken.
On the move. Full speed. On it.
Okay, if the Orion is going to hang back, it's not the end of the world. Nope, it advanced. Okay. Well, I think you only have like one evasion. If that's the case, we're going to pick you apart first,
Give them everything you
just as I had already planned.
confirmed.
Happy to take the slow guy out first.
Give them everything I've got.
Waiting for orders.
Yeah, we'll go there. That's fine. Okay, he's dead. He just doesn't know it yet. Might be able to run up here and get some nice shots. Will technically put me in a corner, but I think it's worth it for the height advantage. And I could do the same over here, it's just not as much height.
Do this.
Let's see. There we go. That's a great spot.
All weapons are go.
Good to go.
Okay, that Orion.
Firing all weapons.
There we go. Starting to get the internals.
Scored a critical hit.
Yeah, you should panic. You should run.
Light damage, Commander.
Ow. Okay, first hit I've taken, really? On Reaper.
Hell yeah.
Definitely worth it, though. There we go.
Roger.
Okay. Then we run away. We keep blasting.
Let's go.
Orders.
Yes. Not happy with that Lancelot, but this Orion still has a lot of firepower.
It's go time.
That Gauss rifle being down is very good. Oh, even better. I didn't anticipate the ejection, but good. Hello, Miss Sass. Thank you for wishing me luck.
Let's hit him hard. Standing by.
Doing, baby.
Let her in.
Standing by.
You want to be on my lap while we stream? That's allowed. Girl. All right. The ultra sassy void has claimed my lap. Being a sweetie. You have pets when it's not my turn. On my turn, I have to control the game. Yes, I do. Sweet girl. All right.
Show me your war face. Yep.
Let's see. Yes. Good news is he's an easy target this turn.
Eat this.
Yeah. We got him.
Target's taking a critical hit.
You're a bar guard? That does
Ready
not
for
sound
orders.
very threatening to me, I have to say. Yeah, there you go.
Full speed, no
Prefer to get his,
target.
even if he doesn't die this turn, I prefer to have the evasion just in case.
Knowledge.
Good. Good choice, me.
Critical hit, Commander.
Thank you. You want all the attention today. Being super sweet. What did you do? What mischief did you get up to that you're trying to distract me from? Have you been tormenting toes again? That is not acceptable behavior, little child.
Acknowledge.
Receiving you. Here it comes.
Okay. This guy's taking way more punishment than he should, I have to say.
Hell yeah.
Let's keep hitting the last few
Yes, Commander.
pops of armor.
Going full throttle.
I am whittling him down.
Roger. did some heavy damage.
Waiting for orders.
Unlike his friend, he is not being smart enough to eject yet. That makes me sad. Well, there, all structure hits? Yeah, there we
Let's
go.
get this done,
Good job,
folks.
Slapdash.
Target eliminated.
Mission successful.
Thank you. Apparently, she was being good luck for that mission. She has now left the building. Or more specifically, she's sitting on my computer. No longer on the lab. Way of cats. Sure, I'll take it. I'll take another E-cooling too. That's great. Hello, hello. The sass has been very sweet. Better than my attempt at the first mission of this morning. How's it going? I just had it here for now. I flipped it. But okay. We will move the tuber. There you go. I'll have to move it again next time we play. But it looks good even inverted. So, as long as it saves its setting and doesn't change on me, that one should be good. You absolutely should get something to eat. Please. Thank you. You too. Well, you haven't enjoyed food, not stream. You know what I mean? Okay. Outside. Okay. Okay. Dive back in. Nice. Nice and cool. Come on, load. It's thinking about loading. I'm gonna guess there's a whole bunch of crap in this mission, which is why it's taking so long to load. It is a 3.5 star. I did go for the big dog. Just because I'm gun shy on the positioning on that fly swatter mission. I'll have to try it one more time. Hopefully it doesn't give me such a horrendous placement. But... Alright, we're back in.
Command interface initiated.
Okay, this looks better. I see people. However, oh my god. No, they're all there. They're not surrounding me, it doesn't look like. I could hide my artillery down here. So this isn't bad.
There gets an
Be
angle on me.
way worse. This I can play with. Really, child? The sass has knocked over my headphone. Just say the battery for my headphones that I charge them in.
Ready for orders.
Cats are so precocious.
Going full throttle.
Okay, what do we got? Ooh, Flashman. I like the concept of Flashman. It just has no armor. It has a crap ton of lasers. So it is a fine first choice.
Ready for orders.
Except a Jenner moved. But I won't be able to target it from here. Where did it... Okay, well, whatever. It's hiding behind the mountain. That's fine. Not like its firepower is scary to me right now.
Firing.
There are much worse things on the field.
I'm receiving you.
I can attack it from here.
All right, let's
Interesting.
move.
I don't think I'll have a great odds, but 63? You know what? Fine. Since I have
All
one
weapons are
person,
go.
maybe I can make you limp. And
Standing by.
blast through its armor. That's good. We'll continue this flank, and then I'm probably going to have to peel some off to the left as well. We'll see how we can make this work.
Commander.
Yes.
Hauling ass.
You know what? Why not?
Firing.
That is a full through and through. But no actual serious long-term damage. Well, this is nice. Getting the ridgeline going? Yeah, that's nice. Sure.
Firing all weapons.
Complete whiff, though.
Oh, missed it.
Kinda
Alrighty then.
horrendous. Okay, now we are going to test. Yes. Because line of
Confirmed.
sight for you is not really important. You just need to blast out missiles. Okay, so the choices are really don't matter. Fine. We'll just try to make you limp. We can get a leg shot on you, that would be nice, but does not look like
Commander.
that was the case. Okay, I mean,
Aye, aye.
not exactly what I want, but we'll just pick on another locust, I guess.
Engaging with target. Standing by.
Ooh, that's nice. Nice little hilltop to fight from. Improve the odds a little bit.
We'll go.
Did not help you. You suck, Virago.
Orders.
As I learned on the stream, or off stream, in a side event, it
Hearing.
looks like Virago is the team muscle mommy. Because she's apparently a former elemental of Team Jade Fal or of Clan Jade Falcon. I did not know that. It is neat that there are some little personal events for some of these Kickstarter people.
Acknowledged.
It also scares me that I have a former elemental turned mech pilot on my team.
I'm here. I. Affirmative.
And not a lot of serious damage for the first turn, but of course, bomb protection is a bitch. I understand why they do it. It protects you as much as it protects the enemies. But I would say the enemies get more value out of it more consistently than you do.
Going as fast as I can.
Yeah, let's start here. That's fine. We're just gonna carpet this area
Commander.
and discourage them moving closer. Good, 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 good. We need to hide behind the mountains so we don't get attacked. That is the only way for these tanks to survive. But at least they have a chance to survive this time.
Let's do this.
Okay. Only go so far with the
All right, let's
chaparrals
see
because
what
they
this
need to
thing
be
can do.
faced towards the enemy. Hopefully that's enough to discourage forward movement.
Standing by.
How about you? Good, good, good. And we will blast over here as well. There you go. 4 circles. Let's see if that does the job. Okay. The Sass is playing in a box behind me. Gotta love cats.
Damn. Let's do this. What do you need?
I guess we're gonna continue the ring around the rosy strategy. Just keep on swiping back and to the left, back and to the right to keep them from overwhelming us. Take out whoever moves the closest, aka these 2 light mechs first, as priorities just to get them out of my back line.
Full
That
speed,
seems to
no
be what I
turning.
have to do. If they come back here, there's a chance they could go make a
35
runner
seconds, 6.
for the tanks, and we don't want that.
Yes, Commander.
I'm not 100% worried about light mechs destroying my tanks per se. Clan mechs have vicious amounts of firepower, so I don't want to rule it
Okay.
out.
That
But by running that far out of the circle, you guys become the
Waiting
targets.
for orders.
Also, they could get if they get eye line, they could fire missile boats at me, which also would be not great.
10-4.
Let's just not let
Come
them.
on, people. Let's make it happen.
Perfect. A light without a leg
Yes, Commander.
is basically a punching bag. Path
On the
2026.
move.
There you
Full
go.
speed.
Okay. Moving on. And since I don't
Giving
care about
orders
you,
as
we just
promised.
want to delim you so you go away. Yes.
Hell yeah.
Goodbye.
Target eliminated.
Okay, who's
Come on,
closest? We've got Flashman still hanging out. Maybe we can do something about you. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a wide circle for some of these guys. Better odds.
Targeting for Alpha Strike.
Bye.
Commander.
Leon, I choose to keep having you do
All
your
in
thing.
half. Guess I'll give it to 'em
Fire!
then.
Okay,
Waiting for
this was
orders.
mildly concerning to start, and of course anything can happen with lucky hits. But at this point, my most biggest concerns are alleviated. Now it's just a matter of playing smart
Target confirmed.
and whittling down their firepower. We only have 2 lances to
Commander?
worry about. It doesn't... I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if another one drops here in a turn or two, which could be a little problematic depending on where it drops. But
Copy that.
if I can whittle down enough firepower before they drop,
Waiting for orders.
this will be much more manageable. I don't like that Flashman, but I just can't get
Acknowledged.
angles on it.
Confirmed. Commander?
Hold on. How about we can do... Maybe, is there a jump option that works? Not that I like. Okay, so unfortunately, I just have to let that
10-4.
Flashman sit there for right now.
Copy that, Commander.
So we will continue to blast at that Vapor Eagle.
I'm receiving you.
Ronin. Alright, there we go. Someone who can put a little
Alright.
hurt on you.
I.
At least something hit. This Enforcer is not great. But as an emergency fill-in vehicle, or mech, it's doing okay. It really needs to be stripped down for parts and replaced, but
Just die.
that will only happen once I can get enough hunchbacks. Which, of course, is my problem right now. I need the money so I can go sell. So I can go buy more hunchbacks. Oh, maybe I can just sell off some random
Hey,
components
what's the paint, pal?
or
Waiting
random
for
mech
orders.
pieces opposed to full mechs. I usually prefer to sell them as full mechs,
Negative damage. Repeat.
but
Negative damage.
Yes, Commander.
alright. I don't know that I did a whole bunch of damage with my artillery this round, but I do try. Okay, good old whiff. I think he's in a much easier to see location now, so that's good. I should be able to focus fire on him. This little shit might be a problem as well.
I'm showing
Okay, more people. So I think I'll just drop artillery on their heads. That's my plan.
Damage minimal.
The locust. Wait a minute. You're not a clanner. You tried to punch me.
Aye, aye.
Yes, it was a kick, but they meleeed. How's that? That is not clan behavior. That is dishonorable. Which is why I do it all the time. Because I'm not a clanner. I'm an inner sphere mercenary. I do what it takes to win. Hey, Bitey. Welcome to the party. How you doing this morning?
Reading you.
You got a hunchback? Congrats. Congrats. Not everyone has to enjoy hunchbacks as much as me. If you've never seen Tex Talks Battletech, but you love Battletech, you really should go watch his hunchback video.
Commander?
I felt so called out when I saw his video. It was kind of hilarious. It just
Unit
just
full
made
throttle.
it just reaffirmed. And then he did the Black Knight after, which is like my second favorite mech. I was like, Tex, you're farming me. You're farming me, man.
Copy that, Commander.
Well, congrats to you on your hunchback.
Commander?
May you use it with pride and smite thine enemies. I don't think you have the crazy models in Bex
Oh,
like
witness
they are in
us
here.
go.
I'd love to show you a 7S. 7P? I think it's a 7P.
Critical hit, Commander.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Orders.
I can't remember how much modification is there in Bex. I know it doesn't have like the endo steel and an armor, but you can throw in a few. I mean, you could soup up a little more armor, take off maybe one or two lasers, and put in some more heat sinks, right? I mean, that's what I do, right? I'd rather have a net cool or close to net zero,
Got it.
even if I lose a couple
Just
weapons,
running.
and have the armor to back it up. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I know that 3062 and Rogue Tech is where a lot of the crazy customization goes. I just couldn't remember how much was in base. It's been so long.
Hostile removed.
Gotcha. Yeah. So you can't throw in like you can't throw in those defense stuff. Hey, if you're that early in your campaign and you already got a hunchback, you're already winning. Anytime you get a solid chassis, that just it just cranks up your capabilities.
Good to go.
Oh yeah, I remember when they added that DLC. Yeah. I like the bull shark in vanilla. I mean, when you can have your own dedicated artillery in like in this, right? I've got my 4 tanks. I don't really need artillery on my mechs
Yeah.
to accomplish that. But I remember that being fun when I first got it in a
Got it. Don't think.
in
Don't
a
shoot,
vanilla.
Just run.
Also, Gauss rifles are way more valuable since there's what like 3 or something in the game. I just remember that's what the bull shark did, right? It just mounts like a giant artillery piece on the side. It might be a thumper if I remember right, but it's been a while since I saw the bull shark.
Here goes.
That was one of my ideas, maybe for the near future, Bitey. Um,
Good to
I'm
go.
thinking about maybe running through the campaign or some flashpoints here, maybe in the next couple days, somewhere in there. I'll do that. I mean, my goal is to continue building up for more hunchbacks, but flashpoints in the campaign always reward you with a nice nest
Copy
egg.
that.
So that might be one way I can get some good some additional funds. Yesterday's stream
Will
was
copy.
good. I love chatting, and I will not give that up for the world. But clearly streamer brain was in full force because I was more interested in chatting than playing good.
Good to go.
I took so many hits. It cost me so much money
Like
to
that.
like refit things and whatnot yesterday. So I'm kind of behind the curve on money. Yeah.
Target's taking a critical
Yeah, yeah,
hit.
yeah. There's a little bit of SLDF stuff there.
Waiting
Yeah.
orders.
But it's
Double
but
time.
it's like
Let's
really
go.
lost tech because of course you're playing in 3027, right? Versus by default starting in 3062 in this mod, right?
Come on, people.
I mean,
Let's make it happen.
I don't remember. I think
Enemy eliminated.
this might have been one of his been some of the updates along the way.
Standing by.
I don't remember, but I feel like originally when this mod first started, the clan tech were
Hit.
basically clan regular medium lasers, which now the default, like I don't even know if the clan medium lasers even exist in this mod anymore. It's all ER lasers. Now I might be misremembering.
Mech warriors. Show 'em what you got.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. It's been a long time since I played, like I said, extended or straight vanilla. But that kind of makes sense.
I'm here.
But I mean, regardless, however you play this game, I mean, everything you need to know about this game for a Battletech fan is it was pretty much universally revered by the player base,
Moving fast.
and it has been incorporated into the ongoing lore of the tabletop by the people who are who own the license now. That's all you need to know, because like, how many times do you have a random
Let's move.
separate product get included into a game because it's that respected, you know? Like, it just doesn't happen. But to be fair, I wish I could remember his name
I'm here.
or the names. I know the main guy. I just don't know his name for Harebrained Schemes. I mean, he used to work on BattleTech and Shadowrun back in the day before everything happened. So, like, it's not a surprise that they could build a team that could make they could write a good thing that everyone would enjoy in the series, right? You can see some Wolf Dragoons, so maybe they have some clan stuff. Yeah, that's possible. Uh, it's also possible that BTA Extended may have included a couple more of the flashpoints, like some of the additional flashpoints that have been user created. And there's possibility for other stuff in there too. That might be. I never knew his. This is a blind spot for me because it was so early in my life when I got introduced to BattleTech. Like, I knew the names on the books, but like they just instantly left my ears. You're probably close though. I mean, I could Google it. Yeah. Here we go. Let's do this quick to clear it up for both of us. Who was the guy at Harebrained Schemes Studio who used to work on BattleTech and Shadowrun? Jordan Weissman. You got it, man. Instead of Wiseman, it's Weissman. But I mean, that's just if you moved the two letters or the couple letters around, you got it. So you were there. He was the co-founder of FASA back in 1980. Okay. Like I said, I mean, like, I knew him conceptually, and I knew he was one of the big dogs there. I just couldn't remember the specifics, right? The true way legends go. I remember the vibe of it, but not the specifics. Yeah. Like, all the respect to him. And I never really played side tangent, but in the same vein, I never really played Cyberpunk
Light
as a
damage.
kid,
Holding firm.
but I played a hell of a bunch of Shadowrun. Like, Shadowrun and BattleTech were two very formative things in my life. Not that I
Let's go.
love the tabletop per se. We played a bit of it. but just conceptually. I read so many of the books. I think I fell off the terrible TSR books when they introduced aliens in one random book in the Battletech. I'm like, hey, that's not supposed to be part of this franchise. That was intentionally something that didn't exist. And you made a book about it? And then at that point, I couldn't see the books the same, and I just stopped reading them.
Confirmed.
But I read a lot of milquetoast books before that.
I copy.
Did the same thing with Shadowrun. I read so much TSR crap back in the day when I was a teen.
Standing by. Roger.
And my mom, bless her heart, she didn't care to an extent. She didn't care what I read as long as I kept reading, and I'll be ever thankful to her for that. Yeah, I'm not worried about the tabletop. Yeah. I'm not worried about the tabletop game. Like, I mean, let's be fair. We've had this is all past when I played, right? But it has had a resurgence. You had the Dark Ages time. You had the Word of Blake. Whatever they're doing now, and all of it just has more and more power creep in it. And it's already a pain in the ass to play BattleTech on the tabletop, unless you just do simple stuff like I take a stock mech and I play against your stock mech. But I mean, let's be fair, most people don't want to do that type of stuff. They'd rather customize their stuff, and that takes forever, and the game is even slower than 40K, and that's saying something. So like the tabletop I don't care about. But I was never like a massive lore guy. Like I said, I read those books, and most of them were like meh. But that was how like I got like the feeling of the universe in my head, even though they weren't, factual. I mean, they're fan fiction for the most part, right? But when this game came out, I think I mentioned this yesterday. When this game came out, it made me want to
Commander.
know a little bit more because it was just so fantastic. Like, and that's when I discovered Tex Talks Battletech. And he's not the only guy. He's just the one I still watch because he makes basically Ken Burns level documentaries with his own money on
For
Battletech.
that.
He does like one every year and a half. The Hunchback and Black Knight series both took much longer to do than normal. But I mean, he puts so much effort into it. It's just so crazy how much work. And he has his own fictitious person. He's invented his own kind of little mini area, which has also been incorporated into tabletop lore, which is kind of hilarious. Maybe not exactly his headcanon way, but part of it. It's all based off Van Zant, Texas,
Yeah.
for what it's worth. But he's done fantastic videos, and and while I mean they're not strictly 100% exactly lore accurate,
Yep.
he uses them as a vehicle to talk about the military industrial complex as well. But it fleshes out the world fantastically. He did one on the Ameris coup,
We take it to 'em.
which was like the downfall
Hunt
of
'em down.
the Star League. He's done so many. And they're just great. And if you want stupid humor, you go watch the Urban Mech one, which is just it's just a straight troll post.
Engaging.
But they all vary, and he does like a good breakdown of the different parts. Like, I mean, even as a Hunchback pilot, I've always known I love Hunchbacks. These games reaffirmed it to me again more recently. And then he goes over a bunch of the various versions, and I'm like, oh, there's these other concepts. My opinion was any Hunchback that's not a laser mech is dead to me.
What's up, boss?
That was my old opinion, and they still kind of are. I mean, I love the 4P, I love the 7P, but I appreciated the Hunchback even more after watching his stuff. And see, a man after my own heart. Yeah, the laser variety is my favorite, no question. There's, I mean, you can get tactical purpose out of just about everything on the tabletop if you're willing to do it, and you're a super math nerd. But I just, you'll see as I play things, waybacks, yes. Yes. I didn't learn that term until Tex's video. Like, I didn't even know that was a thing, right? I just went, hey, this is a sucky mech. That's not a hunchback, and I threw it in the trash, right? But again, I got my education on my favorite vehicle. And then and then he does a large section where he talks about the ethos, the mindset of someone who's willing to get in a hunchback and their fighting doctrine, which is pretty much the war boys from Mad Max Fury Road. And I'm like, I can't unsee it, and I agree. Which is why I keep putting when I dump these VODs to my YouTube channel just for historical record, the thumbnails I keep throwing quotes off and on from some of the sayings that the war boys say, like just bite size of them, like, to Valhalla, witness me, all shiny and chrome. The people who know, right? Uh, and to go back to your, oh, hold on, what did you say? So the one I got is weird. It's a missile boat. I don't know what to do with it yet. It's stock with 2 LRM-10s. Oh, well, you know what? Having a dedicated missile boat on your team, this is something I've been slowly processing on my own, because especially in vanilla, I think Bex is fairly similar. Stability damage really is king. And having a couple of dedicated vehicles that just kind of harass from the back lines or just do circles around people and blast missiles into someone just to knock them over, so you can call shot them to the head, is a fantastic strategy.
Looks like I'll need a new target.
So I bet you could do something good with it. But only 2 LRM-10s and a 50. Yeah, it's very heavy. Well, that was my problem with who do I got here? I can't see him yet because I'm on my artillery. I do have a 2G, Hunchback 2G, I think, which
Looking in target.
is basically a ballistic hardpoint
Oi.
mech.
Good to go.
That's like all it has. And as you just pointed out, you've got some tonnage to play with on a hunchback, but you don't have ballistic hardpoint levels room to play without stripping armor, and I'm never doing that. Or being super hot. That's not a bad idea. Yeah. I've always preferred LRMs for the long distance shooting, but if you're already going to be running crazy straight into the face of the enemy, SRMs are fantastic. You could also make it, if tonnage is a problem but hard points aren't, and it has some like some support ones, you could always even put small lasers on it too. They don't do as much damage, but again, if your whole point is to run circles around a bigger mech and take flank shots, do a bunch of stability damage and plink it with heat, as long as you're heat neutral, who cares?
Waiting for orders.
Like I said, that's my doctrine. It's like I'd much rather have all of my mechs have max armor and be as close to heat neutral as possible, even if that means they have less weapons, because I'll outlast the opponent every day of the week. Yeah, I know conceptually I understand machine guns are great for crit fishing. I conceptually understand that, but I can never bring myself to put machine guns on a thing because of ammo, right? Which is always my challenge. It's like I already feel bad enough running LR or running missiles half the time, but it's a good idea. You just have to be careful. Don't get a crit, because you are gonna go blow up sky high. Yeah. Well, as you play with it, tell me how it goes. Let me know what you figure out, because
Here it comes.
that's the fun part. Like, I know how I build stuff, but I can get stuck in my rut too. That's why I really want to figure out how to get this 2G to work right. It needs more time in the shop. I don't have the funds right now because I've been constantly trying to
Commander.
expand the Hunchback Empire.
Locked on.
Yeah. No double heat sinks or XL. Yeah, oh, sure, of course.
I'm here.
Of course. Well, of course, and also I'm going after and going and punching up clans, right? So that's the whole goal, right? I need to keep punching the clans to get the fun gubbins to put in my mechs. with all, but I'm using inner sphere mechs mostly because they tend to have way more armor, right? So put the high tech gear in the bit more durable chassis is kind of what I've been doing, right?
Taking the shot.
Let's see if I can pull him up. Is there a way for me to see his stuff? No. I might have to look after the mission. It's not giving me too much information here.
Standing by.
These are just your effects. I don't. Yeah, none of that's telling me, unfortunately. There's the way it's done in this mod. And I don't know how this differs from Bex. Again, I haven't played forever. When you stay in a certain mech for a certain time, you get affinities. And I remember there's like increased damage. I see it. It'll sometimes pop up like increased damage with your energy weapons is one of the things I see. I'll probably have to go look in the mech bay when I finish the mission though to get the full answer for you.
This should be good. Standing by.
I wish I knew off the top of my head, but that's what I remember seeing the most. They might get a little bit of a speed boost as well. Entirely possible, but I'm not 100% positive. My knowledge is decent, but oh, there's a component. There's a component built into the mechs, which does give them battle fists, which do a little bit extra damage with punching. That's an actual component. So sometimes in this mod, sometimes there's components built in, but also your pilots get affinities for when they use the same mech for a decent amount of time. Like two different things that can happen. They're not massive. It's like 10% increase. So if you're doing 20 damage, it's like 2. You know what I mean? It's like not like it's not like earth shattering, but hey, that's 2 extra damage, right? So I'll take it. But yeah, I believe the 4P has the punching fists. I don't know that the other models do. But we'll look in the we'll go look at the workshop as soon as I'm done here. It'll take me a little bit, obviously, because there's too many of these bloody jackasses and another lance. I mean, it should be called a star, right? But you know, the clan isn't technically in the game by default, so the code was always to list the enemies as lances. I got over that much early in my modding career of this game. You can build a 4P. You absolutely want. 4P's the classic.
Acknowledge.
I doubt there's a 7P in your game. Just picture the just picture the 4P and how it probably breaks the rules to begin with. It just feels like it does. I don't know how they cram all the specific stuff of that model of Hunchback into it. It feels like they broke their own rules for mech design. The 7P is like an even better version of the 4P. I don't know if it's user generated content or if it exists way later in this or if it's one of those power creep later sets that it came out in. I just know that I've run across one a couple times in previous campaigns. But it's not something you can buy at a Forge or at a Factory World like you can the 4P. So I sad. Oh, they do. But you can I mean even a net neutral mech will cook on a desert world or a Martian biome or a vacuum, right? So but compare that to one of the terrible clan mechs with their picture a Flash Man in that same environment. It fires the first turn and is basically overheated for the rest of the mission, right?
Copy that, Commander.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you use more heat efficient weapon, you're right. But pound for pound, the medium laser is the most efficient weapon in the game. only trade-off is heat. Right? It's 1 ton, great damage, but costs heat. But it doesn't have the range of a large laser, right? Sometimes you have plenty of space, so you can afford to put something that's more damaging but less heat efficient on your mech. But I would always take
Receiving you.
outside of Gauss weaponry because of their crazy range and the way the base game works. I don't really use Gauss in BTA Advanced, but in the base game, obviously if you can get a Gauss weapon, it's better than everything else because of no heat. Yeah. What I'm fine what I keep coming back to is medium mechs are ideal for me because of how fast they're not as lightly armed and armored as a light mech. So we'll use the Hunchback. I know it's, in my opinion, the best medium mech. There's others that you can do to do things similarly, but I just have the affinity for the Hunchback. But just using it as an example, right? The distance it can run and still put Arano's Heraldric
Standing by.
Heraldric Kintaro you see a few times in the story is cool. I think you can do decent things with it as well. Like I said, there's some decent models. Like this Wraith I've got. I know it's not going to be in. This is some crazy advanced thing that's all about jumping. Is fantastic as well. There's decent models. It's a Hunchback's just my personal favorite. But like after you go to heavy, your movement just goes way down. And the way these missions are designed in this game, they're just too slow. So what I've realized is if you're gonna go into heavies and assaults, I mean you're kind of forced in the base game because you couldn't shoot while sprinting. I don't know that run was a thing until maybe that mod. I don't remember. Like I said, I don't remember. I just remember you basically went for you to survive the later missions in the campaign and base, you really just needed a set of king crabs. But ignoring that, yeah, it's hard for those heavies to keep up with my speedy little hunchbacks.
Good to go.
But in this mod, I will happily take nothing but medium mechs and run circles around 4-star, 5-star missions. I mean, yeah, if I get unlucky and they all pummel one of my mechs, it's gonna die from their weight of fire. That's
Killed
fine.
everything you got. Target eliminated.
Yeah, 4 deployment spots. Right, you don't even have a full lance. Isn't a full lance 6? Isn't it clans stars that are less? Really, you destroyed my laser AMS? Another expensive mission. Full lance is 4? I thought it was 6. I know there's a difference between clans and Inner Sphere. Maybe I'm 5. Okay. I was inverting who was who. Fair. But a mercenary company is very rarely going to run just one lance, right? They would be running multiple lances, like in the BT3062 or Rogue or Comguard level 2 has 6 max. Okay, I might have been thinking about that too. Again, my knowledge is not perfect of the lore by any means. I've learned a lot from Tex and crew, but I never claimed to be perfect at it. Yeah, I just remember there was differences. But to be fair, with how many memory links this game had with base and the time they had to put it together, we're lucky that it's lucky that these mods allow you to have so many more things and that they work at all. I mean, it was limping around with bubblegum and duct tape just to get 4 mechs versus them, right? Hey, man. Between the two of us, we could figure it out, right? And there's always Google when we would really need to look something up, like Mr. Weissman's name. You were closer to his name. I couldn't remember his name at all. You were close. Oh.
Orders.
If you want to wax poetic on a little bit of a little bit of industry stuff in general. I'd love to pull on one of your previous comments that I was about to talk about, then we kind of side tangent, or we moved over to talking about hunchbacks and stuff.
Yes, Master.
When you were mentioning the wokies and stuff, this I think this has been a big problem with
Double time.
the gaming and the culture war is a problem from all sides. And there's a lengthy thought that I'm going to try to go through on that. Because you're not wrong. And it stems from the problem is that in general, most artists are very little liberal individuals, right? They're less likely to be conservative than they are liberal. Every art form is like that. It's just the way it is. And so
Here goes everything.
Hollywood for the longest time has been and AAA is following the steps of Hollywood.
Waiting for orders.
It has been living in their echo chamber for so long
Move. Full speed.
that they thought everyone enjoyed being preached at because everyone thought like them. Because they're surrounded by, for the most part, a lot of people who think the same.
Hostile eliminated.
And the number one thing everyone in this world really needs to grow is to be confronted with people with very different mindsets. The more different mindsets you go, you don't have to agree with them, but just being exposed really helps shape you, make you a better person. It's my personal belief. And so the whole woke, anti-woke thing, I mean, like the molehills that people are willing to die for isn't necessarily because that specific thing is the biggest transgression, in my opinion. I think it's more of just people just got tired of it. They didn't want to be lectured anymore. And then an extreme reaction to what they kept consuming in media came out. Like, I don't think Sweet Baby Inc. is the devil.
Yes, Commander.
They probably don't deserve to have as much power as they did as a consulting firm.
Roger, Skipper.
But consulting to ensure inclusivity in your game isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's how you do it. But you said that you dislike or don't have any interest in the resurgence of Battletech because they're too wokey, right? Like, you see it and it drives you nuts. I mean, have you seen anything with the new missions for the Halo game? I was never a Halo gamer, but I saw Combat Evolved or whatever they called the release recently. And I understand why the core fan base doesn't enjoy some random character that basically sits there and makes fun of or doesn't trust Master Chief. They grew up with Master Chief. They know what he's all about. They don't want to be lectured, right? It's a good example of kind of like the greater problem of the woke anti-woke culture war. I don't know. There's more to think about there, but there's my short tirade on it. If it makes sense. I'm happy for any counterpoints you might have. Because I really do think that's how everyone learns, right? You just
What? No.
you debate back and forth and you get better for it. But my channel's not going to be all about that. It's just things around the gaming industry is I love to talk about. They're all warts and all, right? I love the rise of indie. I'm really happy that Battletech is back in the zeitgeist, even if I don't want to play the board or the tabletop game anymore. Yes. Yeah. Your problem was with them trying to change how things were for decades, lore-wise and stuff, forcing something that I'm not interested in and doing a really poor job at it. Well, that's the problem of this. As these millennials have been going into the and getting jobs writing, like they're not choosing the people who have talent. They're choosing people who are at least for a while, right? Like the COVID era, and we're seeing all the results of those games coming out and just doing poorly because they're more interested in reciting rhetoric at you than telling a good story. I'm with you. I completely understand all of the drama that's been going on with 40K, with the rise of what is it that of the custodes As I recall, Games Workshop recently changed the Custodes to be... Why do I have all this? Okay, sorry, 1 second. My phone is blowing up. Let me get rid of this and I'll continue my thought. I don't understand why this is here. Okay. Okay. I hate notifications. I'm trying to stream. Phone, shut up. Thank you. Okay. Hit the button. All right. Anyway, so there's a one-off
You're
line
the right move.
in the old 40K lore about the Custodes always being basically they take young men, become part of the chapter.
I'm
And
saving you.
so recently they changed it so they now have females that are a part of it, which is more inclusive. And let's be fair,
Failed.
I mean, Space Marines are their most popular brand. They technically have the sister Sororitas, which is an all-female army, but they wanted to be more accessible or and whatnot, blah 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 blah. And so they changed the lore, and it pissed off a bunch of people specifically with the Custodes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's ways you could have done this that wouldn't have pissed people off, but he did it in the most ham-fisted way, and he pissed off all the grognards. And like, you should have known this was coming. That's my stance on most of these wokey things, is that you should have known that it was gonna displease your core fan base. But the problem is that for a long time, AAA and Hollywood, game industry, tabletop industry, would pick your poison. They've all been basically going for, well, we want to expand our audiences. Okay, cool. You want to expand your audience. Okay. And then Star Wars makes The Acolyte, which completely changes the narrative that's been for the entire time for the core fan base of the Jedi are the best. Yes, they can fall from grace, but the Jedi Order is amazing.
Yes, Commander.
And he made them child groomers and the bad guys. There's a way you could do the story of in the Old Republic era of the council degenerating and not being what it once was and having some flaws. The Acolyte wasn't it, right? It doesn't pull in that fictitious new audience that you want, and it pisses off the fan base that you do have. So it appeals to no one
Gotcha.
and makes you lose a lot of money. The best example I have something of crossing audiences that just from what I've consumed about them is Agatha All the Way. It seems to not be so far one direction that the old fans of Marvel will hate it, but they will sit down and with a loved one who might like it, and you'll both enjoy it to an extent. But it doesn't feel like most modern writers are competent at doing something like that. You not wanting to talk, we don't have to go much farther down this rabbit hole. I'm not trying to bring you into conversation to like US. I'm a moderate myself. I'm not going to go any farther into politics. There are things on both sides that can be useful, that can be good. There are bad things. I think in general, most things in moderation are better than extremes, is what I'm getting at. The culture war is just an interesting thing that unfortunately we have to deal with in our hobbies. AAA will learn when half of them go out of business. They've started to learn things like Veilguard and its awful reception. One thing that the business idiots at the top don't like is losing money. And it might be their fault that some of these decisions are being made. I can't say it's all on them. It's not like they hire every individual person. But it's not a surprise that every writer that was involved in Veilguard was fired from EA. They're gone completely. It's amazing that BioWare is even still a studio. After the Saudi deal, I don't think they're going to be around for very long. But you're right. They'll learn when they wind up broke. Enough companies will get close and go out of business. That others will learn, and I think there's already reactions to that, right? Like live service chase is changing other than Sony. They're still going at it in a very stupid way. There's a way to do live services even still. They're not doing that. They're just like, no, but let's authorize 20 more and see if, because we got to hit jackpot sooner or later.
Got it.
Yeah, anyone claiming moral high ground is just yes. And I understand that side too. It's what the woke side did is they got so morally superior, so assuming that everyone should agree with them, that the people in the center who would otherwise probably support them got tired of it.
Commander.
And that's kind of what's led to this current administration and environment.
Affirmative.
They forced people who would have otherwise mostly agreed if they had just done things in moderation and pushed them away from their causes. Well, that's what the current other side is setting the next political cycle to be all about. It's about to be a massive anti-trans stuff. I do not want to go down that line, but watch, that's where the election is going. Again, I'm not the political guy. There's billions of channels to go talk if you really want to. I know you don't, so I'm not trying to invoke that for you either, right? But like I'm just saying, predict. That's my prediction. We're gonna see it as a massive conversation, and it's just a distraction from the bullshit. That's as close as we'll go to that side. But it's a problem. It's a problem around. Like we need to at the end, if you're just nice to people, and as long as they're not harming people, who cares? Just it's fine. You don't like someone, you don't have to deal with them. You also don't have to be an asshole in their face and like call them names and stuff, right? Again, moderation. That's what I preach. Just sit back, have some fun. And you're probably better for avoiding the politics in general.
Roger.
You're probably a better person for it. Like, because when you go down those lines, it can really taint your perspective and whatnot. I try to avoid social media as much as I can. Now, I can't avoid YouTube, right? Especially for what I'm doing now. I now have a Twitter account so that I can announce streams. Zay's been helping with getting those announcements out for me, which I appreciate. But I'm also not, but I don't sit on there and scroll anything. Like and I think I'm healthier for it. Unfortunately, I think a lot of people have been really messed up with how social media is set up to like make you hate things because hate makes for quote unquote better engagement. You learn not to care because for some reason there is a lot of people in the position of power and they will ban you for even discussing, not even disagreeing, just trying to understand the other side. Yes. I'll say this. In the two things you should never talk with coworkers about is politics and religion. Because anyone who is fanatical enough on either of those topics is exactly the problem you just saw there. You even make the most mundane of comment like, where was most religion founded? A lot of it was in the Middle Ages, if it's the Western religions.
Standing by.
Who wrote the books on a lot of this stuff?
Oh, yeah. You got it.
People in the churches. Just saying that is enough to piss people off. And I said very little.
Commander?
I am a very amateur history nerd. In college, I took 400 level medieval history and Viking history as my general electives. I did more work in those classes than I did in my business classes. But I enjoyed it. But you know what they say, right? If you don't learn from history, you're doomed to repeat it. So you just have to be careful with who you engage with that type of stuff, right? Like I have no interest in becoming an Asmongold. I'm here to play games and also mock the industry for being stupid. But no animosity to specific people other than maybe the business idiots at the top making the decisions, aka Bobby Kotick. Not that he is anymore, but he certainly did a number on Activision and Blizzard in his time there. Like, I don't even know how he hasn't been sued from some of his most recent comments. Like, he defended himself
Mess him up good.
for his decisions on what he did for the sale of Activision to Microsoft, but in his defense, he basically said, "I don't know why you investors are complaining.
Ready for orders.
We knew the company wasn't worth what we sold it to Microsoft for. You should be thankful to us." I don't know how Microsoft hasn't sent like an assassin against him to just eliminate him in vengeance. It's like, so you lied. You're admitting you're lied publicly, but we're supposed to just accept that? It's crazy. He's just he's on the Hall of Fame of villains in the video game industry for all time, as far as I'm concerned.
I'm here.
Anyway, like I said, moderation, understanding are good. Don't do it at work. No, I'm not. Don't be intolerant at work. I mean, don't talk about the hot button topics at work. Avoid it. You're absolutely right. That is the right approach. Sometimes you can find people of similar mind that are willing to engage in thought, but then you have to be very careful. And I would recommend not doing it at work still, because
Commander?
all it takes is one obnoxious person overhearing and get offended, and then all of a sudden you're back to the problem, right? Because they weren't part of the conversation, but they've made themselves part of the conversation.
Firing all weapons. That hit something good.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. The vocal it's the vocal majority, or sorry, the vocal minority are the problem. The people who don't talk, like, in general, even people who get caught up on it online, they could have completely opposite viewpoints of you. They could be on the complete opposite side of the welcome to the party, Rifleman. Please tell me you're not really offended by our trying to have a coherent, moderate discussion. If you are, I apologize, but I think you're just messing with me. But anyway, like, you can have, I mean,
Yes, Commander.
it's the whole, in the US, the Thanksgiving with family problem, right? Like, your crazy aunt who holds wildly disparate beliefs than you can't help but let them out, and that causes tension at the dinner table. As long as they don't talk about it, there's no problem. You can have your view. It's just when they go crazy. Oh yeah. Yeah, Rifleman, I agree. The media loves to tell you what you should think.
I'm listening.
And the media is no longer unbiased. As boring as shit as Walter Cronkite is, I wish we had 30 of him back. He just told you the news, and you could form your own opinion. That is not the news these days. The news is entertainment. The rise of the 24-hour news channel was kind of the beginning of the death of traditional journalism. I mean,
Full speed, no target.
yes, this is BTA Advanced 3062. Okay. All I have is my coffee, which I haven't finished, so I'm going to take a big gulp here. I've been talking a lot, so thank you. Yes, to bring you up to speed on our philosophical discussion here. Yes, I am playing BTA 3062. I love Bloody Dove's mod.
Let's get this done,
As you can see from the stream,
Target
this playthrough I've decided that I'm going to acquire every hunchback I can. I would love to get some 7Ps, but I'm not quite sure where to go farm those. So I'm just making money and buying 4Ps from the Forge World. And then they're backed up by artillery. And then after I do that, I'll figure out how I finish the campaign. I'll probably go do some of the flashpoints and stuff. Well, I'm gonna probably do the flashpoints, start doing those soon, regardless. But anyway, the whole point is I want to get an entire army of hunchbacks because I've never done that before with this mod. As Bitey and I looked over things yesterday, I realized I now have over 1,000 hours in this game. I love it. I play it like once a year for about a month is what I've been doing before I started streaming.
Confirmed.
So that's what I'm doing. And again, thank you, Nose, for making me remember to take a drink because
Waiting for orders.
Lord knows I needed it. I love these discussions though. The whole I'll give you my pitch for my channel here in all its small glory. I'm a noob to the streaming side, not to Battletech. I played tons of this game. But the whole point is we play the game. I will try to do as good a job as I can.
Negative damage.
But when we start randomly going off on discussions on the industry or whatever else, my gameplay will obviously suffer. If you're expecting me to be amazing, you're in the wrong place. But what I want to do is make a place where we can just chat about stuff. Just make it a fun hangout. That's the plan. So there's my pitch. That's all I got. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it.
Engaging target.
Bitey and I were talking yesterday. I think I definitely want to retry. Well, I'm not going anywhere. But yes, I want to like when new people come in, I want to give you an idea of like this is what I try to do here. Because you know, if it's not up your alley, I'm not going to be offended. I'm a new streamer, you know, but I'm doing like I'd rather you have fun.
Target.
If it's not interesting, that's fine. But what I'm thinking I'm going to do next,
Mech
once
destroyed.
once we decide that we've had enough as a group, I think I'm going to go check out Phantom Brigade, its 2.0 release. Bitey got me very interested in going to check that out again because I haven't played it since launch,
No.
and it was, I think we agreed,
Okay.
Bitey didn't play it until the 2.0 release, but I played it release. I forgot to watch that video that they had. Dang it. I meant to do that. I went into editing one of my videos that needed a little bit of attention yesterday.
Systems holding.
It didn't have enough stuff in it to begin with. It needed more customization, needed more configuration. It just needed a little bit more meat, be a fully fledged
I'm
game.
here.
So I kind of want to go back and check it out, start a new campaign, and play through it a bit, just to see how it looks in the 2.0 version. Because it had good meat on its bones. I loved the concept of the time manipulation mechanic in the game. It was a little confusing, but I eventually got my head around it. So I think that's probably what's next as far as the my solo streams.
Confirmed.
Group wise, if you'd love to see some pain, in the afternoons, Mr. Nose has been subjecting Zay and I
That one's gone.
to playing Remnant 2. I am not the Souls guy for various reasons, but I'm actually really enjoying Remnant. Hey Zay, what's up?
Waiting for
I'll
orders.
be on still modding for a little bit.
Okay.
Just wanted to let you know, but I gotta go to the store to get some provisions for our guests tomorrow.
Okay, no problem.
Mech warriors.
Welcome
what you
to
got?
the cat a rifleman?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, would you mind grabbing the sass and swapping the babies?
Yeah.
And she's actually or the little one. Thank you.
She doesn't want me to grab her.
Well, that's because she doesn't want to go into her room for a bit, but Toes needs time out too. Thank you.
Welcome.
Yes, Commander.
That was Zay. All right, back to the fun.
Acknowledged.
I lost track. We do this here. We love to ramble. If you go check out my YouTube channel, you'll see. One of
Fire.
the things I'm doing slowly is I have little mini podcasts where basically I'm just
Critical
doing
hit,
beer and
Commander.
pretzels conversations with some of my friends
Waiting for orders.
on various topics. The last one I did was with my friend Malintent. He does PoE 2 and PoE 1 content. We talked about that.
Go time.
I think in the next couple weeks, probably after our house guests come and leave, I think we're gonna do a chat on Kingdom Come Deliverance
Yes,
2.
Commander.
I am an amateur critic.
Double time.
I
Let's go.
love to dissect things, as Bitey and I have been chatting like about the video game industry and whatnot. Um, whether I like or dislike something, I love to talk about all those things because for me, being critical and like pointing out all the minor flaws in something that I otherwise think is amazing
Copy that.
kind of helps me understand what I really like about the things I like, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Not everyone has the critic brain, and that's why it's fun to do it with Jaden because he's so much more of a relaxed dude. He's just like, no, that didn't bother me. That didn't bother me. I'm going, dude, why didn't you not like that part? So it always makes for fun conversations.
Lock it on and
We'll have some fun
burn
there.
it all.
KCD1 was a game that I loved to hate. I hate how much
I got 'em.
obsession it had with immersion, but I loved the story, and I played it despite all the things I hated about it. I like KCD2 way more. But anyway, there's your preview for whenever we have that conversation here in a couple weeks. If you guys got a topic you want to talk about, we can. Otherwise, I'll go back to chatting about the game, which is fine. I'm just happy you guys are hanging out with me. And you can lurk too. You don't need to. You could just be there if that's what you want. It's fine. But especially Rifleman, since you haven't seen me play much, if you have any questions about what what I've been up to, just let me know. Happy to explain or give you some insight. I do owe an answer to Bitey now that we finally finished that mission that never ended. I just need to go see what's here. Is there anything I really, really want as far as loot? What I want is my laser AMS back. I'm gonna have to go buy another one at some point. I think I have an extra that I can at least slap back in. Okay, so I have one Hunchback 2 something or other. I don't know if I have the 2C. We'll go to the mech bay. We'll take a look. And then we can talk about it. Because that'll go along with these things. Spirit Walker. What are you? You are something I can sell for parts. Come on in. I need money. Hey, I like Clan Pharaoh. I'll tell you that. I like all the Clan Gubbins. In general, as I'm trying to get to the mech bay screen. In general, my opinion is I like what the clans put in their mechs, and I like the Inner Sphere chassis more. In general. As a starting stance, right? Like the way I've always played the BTA 3062 mod is I fight the inner clan as I build up. Hey, Mr. Nose, what's up? Just saying hi.
How they're gonna go?
Okay, no problem. Rifleman just joined and we've been chatting, so I got Bitey and Rifleman have been hanging out with me, and I appreciate it.
Joined right before I sent you
The hydrate. Yep.
the hydrate.
All right. I don't have a 2C. Ooh. Art, you have fun. But what I lose? My laser AMS. That was it. Okay, let's go slap another one of those, and then we'll go look at stuff. So, oh no, this is a 2. Well, it's a 2C6. Are you talking about? Is there a base 2C? Or I think there's just multiple 2Cs, right? I think that's what it is. Where is my laser? Oh, duh, that'd be under weapons. Good client. There we go. I got 6 of them. Hot dang. I must have bought a bunch. All right. So you'll be fixed in 2 days.
On it.
Uh,
I'll let you know when that's done.
I can't go look at that one. I mean, I can. So if we just look down, durability, 5 pips, 1, 2, 3, 6 and a spit on a 4P. Like this is my clan mechs have way better. They have way better gear. Their lasers or whatever you want to look at are better. Their chassis have way less armor. As I remember from looking at these hunchbacks, I think it has like 85 tons of armor on the torso pieces, which are just the one I remember, versus a regular hunchback, which is 120. So they just have way less armor. They move faster in general. They're they're paper not paper tigers. That's not right. They put out crazy amounts of damage typically, but they run really hot and they can't take damage. And typically when you max armor in Inner Sphere mech, just has way more armor on it. Glass cannon. Yes, that's what my poor streamer brain was trying to think of was the word. You are correct. That is exactly what I was thinking. They have superior range. Well, okay, so let's look at my pilots to go along with that mindset. And this is a good way. I can go grab a service record. Does it have it? Okay. So you were asking about skills. I'll break open the mech again so we can look at the quirks there. But you see, because he's been in he's been running his 4P forever. 1 bonus evasion on movement, 1 extra piloting. Doesn't matter. He's at max. +1 to all pilot skills. Again, he's max. But there's bonuses you get for sitting in a mech for long enough. And then you mentioned the battle fists built right in. 8% more stability damage, 8% more damage, a little more accurate, and mounted weapons are more accurate. Well, this one has all its lasers in the center. I probably should have put one on both of these so they were slightly more accurate. I should have done that. Either way, this 2C has been doing work for me, but I do not like how fragile they are. Like same thing with these Stormcrows. Oh, this is of course my 1 missile mech. Of course, I looked at the 1 missile mech. It figures. We'll go to the P. Right? I've got a bunch of lasers. This is similar in damage output to my other guys. In theory, it has more durability, but same thing. Only 85 armor. 5 tons heavier. And way less armor than the Hunchback. So in the end, these Stormcrows are getting pulled out of service. I'm stripping them for parts. Oh, the lower armor extra. You know, you're right. You're absolutely right. I should do things like that. I haven't gone full on. I think that's an equip, right? An arm. Or is there a default one? I don't know. I'll figure it out. I could miss. There we go. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I should have these things. Oh, this one. Nope, this one can't have it. Maybe it's because the Hunchback Battle Fist count as a lower arm. Yes, categories. Lower arm actuator and hand. Okay, so that covers that. True. Well, I should move things around. To be fair, I built these hastily and just threw crap in. Like this one should be rebuilt, so I move some lasers to the arm besides the tag. And the tag doesn't do much because I have literally 1 missile mech. I used tag on all my mechs before the tag change because it affected more things. Now it's like only affects missiles, I think. So, oh, it's fine. Semi-guided armor, which I think is LRMs, right? This is just habit. I should put something else in there. I will rebuild these Hunchbacks to be better. The problem I've been having is because I've been successfully building out my Hunchbacks. As you can see, here was my most recent hunt. I'm now up to 4 Ps. I only got 1 from salvage. The rest have all been bought at Kalidas of the Forge World. And then I got these as salvage as well. This guy is terrible. This 2G is absolute garbage. Because getting these hard points for, I mean, it's basically supposed to be a ballistic mech. I've turned it into an energy mech. And it kind of works. I should replace these. There's this one cool weapon that I really think is neat. I like these Klein AP Gauss, but I have like no ammo. And I don't know where I can buy it. So I'm just hoping to salvage it off. And then I'm going to put a bunch of these as, because I've got 19, but I have like I think 3 things of ammo. But I want to put a bunch of these AP Gauss on one of these, on some of my mechs, just for fun. I just think they're cool. And that's kind of what I'm doing. It's the rule of cool. Some of it's efficient. They're not quite, but my Hunchback Brigade just does so much work for the rest of my army. And then I have all these under tonnage. This thing is terrible. It was forced into surface yesterday when one of my other Stormcrow backups got half its side obliterated. I had a really bad stream for Profit yesterday, but it was fantastic because Bitey and I had like a 2-hour conversation on random shit. We talked about AI, we talked about the gaming industry, which I will talk about any day of the week. I'm an amateur business geek, so I love talking about that stuff. I also know that it can bore some people, but Bitey and I were having fun, so that's what matters. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at with those guys. To your previous question, I think basically my takeaway is I don't think the clan version from the ones I've gotten so far is better than the Inner Sphere 4P if you put clan tech in the 4P. And if I could get a 7P, that would be the cherry on top for this playthrough. It's honestly, that's my stretch goal, is I want 1 7P. And I've spent most of this, oh, oopsie, the 2 seasons is healing. LaFay, let's give you a hatchet man for today. Sure, why not? The 7P is a broken version of a 4P. That's all I remember. It's basically the 4P on crack. It has to be breaking the rules. I don't know how it exists otherwise, except for the fact that it's probably a Dark Ages or Word of Blake era design is my guess. Because, you know, in tabletop, the newer eras have just had nonstop escalating power creep from what I've seen. I don't play the board game anymore. But of course these mods have a bunch of that gear. The 7P is just like, it just seems like it does everything the 4P does, but it just does it better. So it's quite literally an upgraded 4P. So the Hunchback 4P is the preeminent laser boat. Easiest one to foot in that surface because it already starts. I mean, it's energy inefficient unless you remodel it, but like it starts with like 6 medium lasers or something. The 7P might have up to 12 hard points or something. Here, let me go look. We're loading, so it's not like the game can do much. Let me go pull up the wiki because I've got it here on the side. Hunchback. The BTA3062 wiki is the best. There's an answer for everything. Okay, so the Hunchback 4P, just to compare, has 8 energy hard points. Right? And it also has 3 support hard points. The Hunchback 7P has 17 energy points. It comes by default with endo structure and double heat sinks. It has a light engine in it, but you can it's not an Omni, so you can change that out. Yes, the 7P is absolutely ridiculous. If you'd like to look at the metrics, I'll just throw you. There's the link to the BTA wiki. Just go look up Hunchback, and you can see. This place is great because it'll tell you. I thought there's a tab that tells you how much free space it has, but I don't think that actually exists. I could have sworn it had that before, but I'm wrong. That was other spreadsheets people made back in the day. Yeah, the 7P is ridiculous.
Command interface.
It's an absolute ludicrous. It only has a 200 core by default. But if you're taking a 7P, you're just gonna, I mean, you're gonna strip out half the crap. I don't think it comes with 17 medium lasers, to be clear. I'm just saying, but it has 17 energy hard points. It's stupid. But it's got endo built in, which of course the 7P doesn't. It's a standard frame. So of course that's going to make it lighter, which means it has more space, which means you can throw more gubbins in it. It is quite literally the overpowered 4P. And I want one. I've gotten it in previous campaigns. I want to say I was either in Capellan or Merrick space when I ran across one. But the biggest challenge of this mod is there's so many bloody mechs that can pop up in the pool, right? From my playtesting so far, and some of this might have changed. Like he might have checked the drop pools might have changed since the last time I played. Like, yes. Oh yeah, it's ridiculous. There's so much crap in here.
Affirmative.
The page I went is just for the inner sphere mechs. If you want to look at the clan hunchbacks, that's on the clan page. It's ludicrous. There's just so much in this game, and I love that because I mean, dude, one of my first missions when I came back and played this, there was like a phoenix hawk or or an Irby lamb. No, it wasn't an Irby lamb, but it was a light lamb. It wasn't a phoenix hawk because that's 45 tonner. Maybe it was like a locust lamb, and I'm like, okay, lambs suck. In every category, lambs suck.
Sensors locked on.
But to make a light lamb is like, what's the point? The whole point of lambs was to be to give you ultimate versatility. You don't need versatility in a light. You need just to go fast and have it survive.
No shooting.
Lambs suck. I may have strong feeling on lambs, but I love that they're in the game. I love all the crazy artillery pieces. As much as they drive me nuts trying to shoot at them, I love the hovercraft. In previous games or previous campaigns, I've grabbed an early hovercraft and put my artillery pilot in it and just prayed they would survive. Like hide them away from the battlefield, just run circles, just do donuts, so they could gather XP, so that by the time I finally could afford to buy some artillery pieces, they'd be a halfway decent pilot. So much fun you can have with this stuff. Trust me, Bitey. Hey, once you go down the rabbit hole of 3062, it's hard to go back to extended, but it's very daunting to get into. Like, again, having fallen off of Battletech, back
Understood. Moving.
played in high school, then I went to college. That was the 90s. I didn't pick it up again until this video game came up. I still don't play the tabletop. Like, I just don't have time. I did play 40K for a while. I didn't have time for both of those things, and 40K is way too expensive, which is why I don't play 40K anymore. But I have a bunch of crap in my basement. I could play it again if I wanted to. I like there's nothing wrong with extended. I just the base game design of this game, because it doesn't have it didn't have the rules. Like, you basically, if you ran, you couldn't shoot because they only had I believe it only had sprint and walk, effectively. This is what I remember from the base. So again, I had to run all. By the end of the campaign, I basically ran all king crabs. That was basically what I did. I needed the heaviest thing I could find to survive with your 4 mechs and whatnot. It's fine. This took me a long time. I played BTA Extended a few times because these mods scared me. But eventually I took the plunge and I tried 3062, and it was massively different. Like, you see how I've been doing it, right? I do nothing but sprint. But you can sprint and you have evasion, and then you can shoot. And I forgot to show this off, but and there's multiple different perks for every level of your thing. So I play tactician pilots because tactician extends your range, gives you initiative bonuses, the way I build them. And then piloting for a little bit extra evasion, because evasion is king in BTA 3062. The faster you move, the harder you are to hit, which also is a reason why lights can still be very, like this stupid cicada with its stupid 6 evasion. Just, I should have been able to do, I should just like one salvo destroy it. Which in base, you would strip the armor or strip the evasion with 1 or 2 people and then blast them to hell. In this, I run circles around it. I don't
Full
care.
speed, no target.
I mean, yeah, sure, I've got a bunch of 20% chances, but with the sheer amount of firepower I put out, I will destroy the enemy.
Scarred a critical hit.
Oh, right. That was another thing. The more you
I'm
shot,
playing
the
a
more
game
your evasion degraded, and that
This
doesn't
is where
happen.
it
Yeah.
really
So light mechs are still a threat. I mean, clan light mechs, especially, because a lot of them also come with battle armor handles.
Light
So they'll
damage.
just charge up to you and drop some battle armor on your feet. And if you've not experienced the wonders of battle armor ripping your mecha half, you've not experienced the pure hell of fighting the clans. I'm glad they changed it. They probably made evasion closer to what it's like in the other 2 mod sets, is what I'm guessing they did. It might be still closer to the base game than the others, but I wouldn't be surprised if they moved a little bit more. But again, my experience from Battletech Expended goes back. I mean, that would be. I mean, this game was released in 2018, so I played Extended in 2000, late 2018, early 2019, right?
standing by.
Somewhere in there, or maybe in 2020 at the latest. Before I then dived into BTA 3062 sometime past that. So my memory, like I have the memory of playing it, but it's been a long time since I did it, right? So there's that. But again, like I just can't go back to Extended at this point because I love all the additions. It's not all perfect. The thing that pisses me off, and you'll notice usually in the first, more often than not, is in the first, which can happen in the first round of combat, is because you have so many units. There's all sorts of wacky things that can happen. Like you can have a random unit of yours drop pod right next to all the enemies.
Standing by.
You can get stuck on terrain where you can't move, except for the fact they added this ability called Careful Maneuvers, which basically removes all your movement capability, but you can move 1 square in any direction regardless of terrain. So you can get off of it. But when you get a drop mission where, like the first mission I did today, which I then reloaded because it was stupid, I had 2 enemy lances completely surrounding my drop point and nowhere to move my tanks to. So it guarantees my tanks die. There's no counterplay. You just die. And that can be an interesting flavor change and cause you to rethink some strategies occasionally. But it's also not exactly fun to just have no chance. It's like this mission has just decided you're potentially having a pilot die and there's no reason. So there's little things like that that can be annoying, but do you build each individual each mech for individual max alpha, or do you build for combined arms integrated unit? I take, or at least for this campaign, specifically this campaign, I am taking the Tyranid approach. My question of doctrine, I answered with, I'm running all hunchbacks. And I'm building them more or less the same as cogs in a giant machine. My pilots are more or less built the same way. They pretty much all have sensor lock, and then like master tactician, eagle eye, and then the thing. So like every unit is the same and plugs the same hole. My artillery, the only reason I'm using 2 different types of artillery is I can't afford to buy better artillery. I have what I found, which just happens to be 2 ballistas and 2 chaparrals. Long term, once I have the tonnage for it, I'm going to replace them all with long toms. I'm going to have 4 long toms that sit in the back and drop long tom artillery on people because that's hilarious. But I'm everything is a cog and everything can do the same thing. That's the doctrine I'm using right now. If I force myself to use different styles of hunchback, like if I just say, well, I still got these hunchbacks, let's figure out how to make these the best they can be once I'm past the point of finally getting all my hunchbacks, and I can focus more on tweaking them out and making them a little better, like making sure I put some lasers in the arms, you dumbass. Why did I not do that? Right? Yeah, but yeah, for this playthrough, it's brute uniformity, but it's also helped me coalesce. That's also part of the fun, right? Like I'll play for a month a campaign, and then step away before I streamed. I might play this more frequently if y'all enjoy it, and like there's not something else that we really want to play. Like I don't mind going back to this periodically.
Ready for order.
I'm not going to be a one game streamer. This just happens to be the one game I'm playing for my solo streams, and then our group streams are doing something else, right? But I also love it, and this is a very slow build game for a campaign, right? So it takes a while before I move on to something else. Like I said, I think I want to try Phantom Doctrine, Phantom Brigade. Phantom Brigade, yeah, that's right. That's probably what I'm going to go look at again next when I do the next thing. But I've learned enough time passes between each campaign that I forget some things.
I think I hit something.
My pilot started out as tactician because I remembered I really liked tactician, but I also had them as gunners. And I realized while I used multi-target extensively in BTA and BTA Extended, I don't multi-target in BTA3062. Yeah, there's certain times it's a nice to have, but it's not consistently useful. The extra pip of evasion to keep my people alive, since I'm relying on nothing but evasion to survive, consistently is a better pick for that extra tree for me. I've thought about maybe mixing it up. So this goes to my bigger thoughts. So in a campaign where I'm not going, this is the Hunchback Horde as the shtick, I do think backing up my medium mech or heavy mech, speedy mechs, if I can make some decent one line, would be very, very heavy mechs loaded with as many missiles as I can to be another version of artillery for stability damage. Or maybe I have a couple of headshot sniping Gauss people. So at that point, building for a integrated unit perspective makes sense. I'm just going straight as many lasers as I can put out and just blast them with a bunch of cogs right now, like you said, brute uniformity. Yeah, that's absolutely the doctrine for this playthrough. But that's also my inherent nature. Like watching Tex Talks Battletech made me realize I am a hunchback pilot. That is my style of play. If I went back to the tabletop and I played, which I'm not going to do, I wouldn't be surprised if I just took a bunch of hunchbacks, maybe a charger or a black knight in the back, just for a little bit heavier units, and I'll just swarm them and I'll just charge towards them and then go, oh my god, what do I do? Because it's just so much redundancy. That's what I would do on the tabletop, which is why it inspired me to do it for my stream game. When I can build it, I like to have a few mechs that have longer range. So typically that means I am absolutely crazy. I am a war boy from Fury Road. I've realized that. That's how I play this game. To quote the 40K meme, drive me closer so I can hit it with my sword. That is absolutely my overall doctrine. I can't help it. It's how I play, and I realize I can't pull myself out of it. So like if you use the wrong units to do that, you're gonna have a bad day. But if you've got nothing but hunchbacks, that doctrine works really, really well. And if you're trying to stream and be entertaining, or at least chatting at the same time as playing, a very simple doctrine seemed to make sense as something I could do if as the community grows and we're chatting about other things. Like I don't have to think about it so much. I just know that, okay, we move, I've done cool. This looks like a spot where I have a decent amount of evasion, I have enough firings, go there, and then just blast the crap out of something. Sometimes I'll pause and take a little bit more thought at it. But yes, I'm absolutely crazy. I'm spray painting my face with the silver with the silver spray paint,
Orders.
all shiny and chrome, shouting "Witness me" from the rooftops. That is absolutely my war doctrine. I do not recommend it for other people. We hunchback pilots are a breed of our own. I absolutely no doubt. Like I said, if you've not seen Tex's hunchback video, you know what? Because I don't know. There's all sorts of people in the community, right? I don't know how many people know Tex Talks. He's a small channel. Oops. Tex Talks Battletech Hunchback. But he's part and parcel of what got me back into the hobby a little bit. Here we go. But I will. I'm happy to. Yes, he is the prophet. But I discovered him shortly after playing this game for the first time. And he was even kind enough in a previous era to respond to my to a fan email I made of his.
Roger that.
He doesn't know me from Adam. And honestly, from what little I can tell about his basic personality, I don't even think necessarily if I met him in real life, we would necessarily hit it off and get along. I'm not really into social things. He had said something in a video
Awaiting orders.
and I could tell he was hurting, and I'm a naturally emotional person.
Will come.
And it just like I felt the need to say something. And like I didn't expect any response back. But I said something. I'm like, keep up the good work, man. You're doing a really good thing, right? And then a month and a half later or something, I got a response. And I was like, I was shocked. But he does seem like a really generally good dude, even if he's
Orders.
had a lot of challenges in his life.
Acknowledge.
So I shot him out because I mean, he didn't collect a paycheck from his from all these documentaries he's been doing for like 8 years or something. Like he invested anything that was made into charities and to the people who helped him make his stuff. And that's like I gotta respect someone who's like that. You know, like it just like he wasn't doing it for the money. He's still not doing it for the money, but at least now he's at least making a few extra shekels on the side besides his day job. Yeah, well, I mean, yes, you're right. They don't put your voice in 2 different mods without you being a big deal. That is absolutely true.
Commander.
And then he also had a very short stint in that Machinima project, right? Like he played one of the people. They asked him to do the voice in that thing. I can't remember what it's called. I'm probably out of date because I haven't looked at it for a year. But I mean, they're kind of slow to make those videos. But I remember he was in like the latest video when I last saw it. That was great as one of the people. Slapping warheads on foreheads, I believe was the line. Something along those lines. Back to you, Bitey. Isn't it better idea to build for purpose like most of the weapons in one range bracket? So this is the doctrine question, right, that we were talking about. It depends.
That's a miss.
In general, outside of Battletech, I tend to be a jack of all trades.
Here we go.
In action-y type games, I like fast characters that attack faster,
Okay.
rely on dodging and whatnot. Not that I'm necessarily good at it, but I enjoy those speedy characters or summoners or blah, 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 blah. But I do tend to play characters that can adapt to the situation, but I'll never use a lamb. Oh, you're fine. We were just talking about text talks. I'm trying not to ignore you guys. So you guys give me a conversation thing and I'll bounce to it. Like, we go bounce back. I love to ramble.
What's up, boss?
So, and
Engaging target.
you guys are engaging with me, so I am happy to engage with y'all. I appreciate it. You're making the stream more fun. But I'm not necessarily all about min-maxing to the min-max degree, although I'm using hunchbacks, which are a very efficient mech. I just wanted a shtick for this thing, and I've never done this before. I've tried to acquire hunchbacks before, but I've never sat down to figure out what is the best way to get enough. And to get like all hunchbacks. This is a little ludicrous. It's turning out to be fantastic as I grow the horde, but it's not necessarily my normal doctrine. My normal doctrine is try to find a 4P or a 7P, and I put my main character in that, and then I make do with whatever else I have. But building for specific range brackets or whatnot. I don't. If I was a better tabletop player, that's a great question, and it's probably a great idea of what you should do. You should put more thought into how you build things. But I'm a hunchback pilot, and I want to charge close and blast people and run circles around them and scream from the top of my lungs to Valhalla. I are crazy when it comes to how I play Battletech. So my doctrine will always end up with things that can take a hit or two, be redundant. Ooh, they've got Artemis has something on her. That's not great. At least they shot the stuff on her. All right, I'll have to attend to that. That's a problem. Because that's a 4P that could be going down. I can't have that happen. But yeah, I mean, like, you could totally make a build where... Oh, this is going to be expensive. My poor hunchback. I really don't want to reload this mission. I really don't. I'm going to suck it up so far. All right, like having... I think there's a lot of value in having, like, a dedicated sniper. Oh, there's the battle armor. Engine destroyed. That's a 4P. I'm going to play out this mission and see how it works. If my 4P is gone, I may have to reload. Which makes me sad, but I'm going to play it out. All right. I think you get a lot of versatility for making those type of plans. The key, though, is the more complexity you build in, the more skill it takes to make it work. And this is what I mentioned about streamer brain earlier. I didn't even notice that the battle armor were on my mech, right? Like, I'm not paying that close attention because I'm having fun chatting with you guys while playing the game. So I'm making bad mistakes, and I'm not covering and leading to things like a massive repair bill on one of my most important mechs. I'm hoping it's not too bad. But it's very easy to misplay when you make things complex. So, aiming for a blacket, I am technically. I'm going for as many hunchbacks as I physically can, and they're all built within a specific design direction, even if they're not identical. Ideally, I want some mechs that have laser AMSs because I hate missiles blasting me apart. I want to have some of those in there. Not everyone needs to have one, but I want some. But they're all in the same range bracket of more or less medium. And they're all tacticians with ER clan medium lasers. So that range bracket is much larger than it should be. Right? So I don't believe in close combat. My doctrine centers around each unit having an LRM for indirect every round contribute. Every unit has ECM, sprints with a common movement rate. The exception is my scouts. Yeah. No, what you're saying makes perfect sense. That's a safe doctrine. That's a smart doctrine. And that's kind of what I want to do with, like, my heavy mechs that can't keep up with the shiny and chrome. I want that, like, heavy backline in a not all hunchback playthrough to do exactly that, to lay down the stability damage, maybe give some of them Gauss instead. Either way, be snipers and whatnot. That, like, makes a lot of sense. What you're talking about is much less likely to have what just happened to my poor hunchback happen. You're much less likely to have some jackass clanner run up with his stupid battle armor, come up and rip your thing in half. A great idea. I didn't say I'm playing smart, but I'm playing me. And I'm charging forth towards Valhalla. And I'm really hating it because this just cost me all of my profits from today, most likely. And that makes me really sad. It's also why I'm not afraid to reload on stream for epically bad epically bad things. But I also don't want to just constantly replay. I have to live with it somewhat, because it's fun for both of us.
Yes, you are.
Yes, I included the community content. I'm actively not using
Standing by.
Tex or George Ledoux or any of those people as my pilots though,
On my way.
because
Double
their
time.
audio is out of whack with everyone else. I really wish they'd go back and set their audio levels to the same as other pilots, because either so that it doesn't deafen my ears and it doesn't
Fire
deafen you.
non-target.
I basically would have to make all of the barking from all of the people completely silent, and then the game would be even quieter than it is now,
Commander.
which it's very low. Like for stream, the music is barely audible, and you could hear the sound, but there's enough sound effects that you can hear when I explode. I mean, you'll hear someone die if they actually die, but it's quiet, right? It's in the background because it's not the focus. The focus is us chatting. Yeah, I installed everything. I love it. Even the overpowered stuff. I love that too. Bitey said, one of the funniest mechs I got a Griffin Brawler. 110 melee damage. I call it a fly swatter. It sucks on all ranges, but I can run him with a Raven with an ECM and punch him. Dude, this isn't MechWire Online. So if you want to do the brawling thing, get yourself a charger. It'll do it. It won't do much else. But damn will it punch things. You're aware the dropship landing zones and fast cam both are marked with the same red triangles? Ask me how I know. Oh, I know, dude. Oh, I know. I think I only had one mech squashed. I'm like, huh, I wonder what this red circle thing is. As I'm doing a convoy mission, and then it exploded. I don't know if chargers are in Bex Extended, but if you look at the wiki I sent you and do a search for the charger, you'll see. It's quite literally, it's a very inefficient mech, but also very scary. People like me should like the charger. I haven't gotten one. I actually will probably pick one up and dedicate and call it the heavy hunchback and see if I can make one work and run a couple missions with one if I'm able to loot one. I'm not going out of my way. But like I think it's default. Maybe this is, you know what I'm gonna put the caveat. This could be, I know in MechWarrior Online, I think it was built terribly, so people who really liked MechWarrior Online, I think, absolutely despise the charger. Tex swears by the charger. He's talked about it multiple times. And since he's actually played Battletech tabletop in the last decade, I will take his opine over my like as a reasonable starting point for consideration over anything I might have. Oh, you found it? Hey, thanks for following, Rifleman.
Yes,
I
Commander.
appreciate it. And but I more appreciate you hanging out.
Moving at full throttle.
I am attempting to try to get to affiliate. I am trying to make a go of this. Obviously, I'm making nothing from this. This is for now, but I am trying to see if I can get somewhere with this channel. And so I cannot understate how much I appreciate y'all guys like hanging out. There's no obligation for anything past that. You just being here makes this stream way better for me. And I
Minimal
really,
damage on that
really appreciate it. So thank you for following. Past that, I'm business side, don't worry about it. I gave you my sales pitch earlier of what I'm going to do. You enjoy that? Great.
Good to go.
And I really look forward to, as Bitey and I did a little chatting, he showed me a few games, and there were some that were already on my awareness yesterday and whatnot.
I copy.
I want us just to have fun and hang out. Right now, we're in Battletech. We're in Battletech mode. But things like Phantom Brigade, if you see other things that are kind of in this wheelhouse that are interesting to you, shout them out to me, man. Even if I don't play them on stream, at some point they will go on the wish list. Not buying any new games this moment for the right now. I'm focusing on what's in my catalog, but that goes back to the massively escalating inflation challenges we've been having lately. think everyone knows that. We're not going down that rabbit hole right now, but just talking about in general. So, Battletech for now. If we get to a point where like we run out of gas with this, and y'all are like, nah, and we play a little bit of Phantom Brigade and nothing else calls out, I might go back to another campaign, or we'll do something else. But my point was, keep telling me, keep the dialogue open, keep chatting. You see something cool that you may be interested in watching on stream, or be the background as we bullshit about stuff. That is exactly what I'd love.
Solid connection on that one.
Because the whole point is for this to be a fun hangout. And hopefully we can avoid the toxic people from showing up. But, that's a challenge in and of itself. I am a noob at all this crap. So
Got it. Full
you
speed
are
on
welcome to
target.
laugh with me as I make stupid mistakes. Like, here's a cool thing. Bitey might have noticed it yesterday. You see my cool PNG tuber here? It was facing the other direction yesterday. Show myself the door. Did I scare you off by trying to be thankful and appreciative of you? Anyway, this was facing the other direction yesterday, because we had fixed it once, and then I forgot, and then it's been facing the other way, and then Zay pointed it out to me. I'm like, oh yeah, I should fix that. So I did after stream. Just because it's natural. I should be looking at the stream, not looking away, right?
Reading you.
I am not trying to make you run away, sir. I am trying to be honest and forthright with what my larger plans for the channel are, if they happen, and if they don't, I mean, streaming is a lottery. Like, it's the odds of making it, especially if you're not doing. The reality is that the gaming is not a priority for Twitch anymore. Oh, the toxic people. Nah. Come watch us play Remnant 2 in the afternoon, dude. One of Nose's old friends who's been hanging with us on stream, he likes to tease me, and I don't care. There's if you see in the redeems, we have it set for only once a stream. But I got renamed Princess Sluffles for a stream. So there's a level. I'm from Jersey. I don't live in Jersey now, but that's where I grew up. I grew up on the Jersey Shore. In fact, Mr. Kevin Smith was a kind of a hometown hero because he was in the greater local area to where I grew up. So growing up in that area, you get used to trash talk and cussing. By default, I cuss like a sailor. I try to behave myself at least a little bit on, not truffles, fluffles. That was what they named me for stream. Actually, so I have some cool tech that Nose figured out. Here, I'll bring this over here for a second just so you can see it on. So there's this thing we did where I can put an image. Woo! That's one of the emoticons that Zay made. It's a cool of my cow cat. If I can figure out how to do this again on the fly. Zay has been doing some art. Is it ad source? No, not ad source. Properties. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, browse. I have to go to a different folder. Bear with me. You'll get some laughter at my expense from doing this. I think I have them here. No, not that folder. Come on, Tath. Where'd you put it? Thumbnails? No. Let's try it this way. I'll do it. We're doing it live. I meant to consolidate all this crap, and I haven't done it yet. I promise there'll be a payoff. Okay, let's try saving this image. This will tell me what folder it was in. Okay, there's an emoticons folder. I was just being blind. Okay, I was close. So, okay, here we go. Here, go over, reveal. There you go. We made the princess posse. Or Zay made the princess posse. So she's been working on those. That's what came out of the whole the princess the Princess Fluffles fiasco. Those will get turned into emotes at some point. Anyway.
Awaiting orders.
But Nose figured out how we could make it a kind of a get some text so that we can just, if I want to pick up an image, I just save it to a folder and then I can do that. But the problem is I need to consolidate all the images I want in one folder so it's easier to do so it doesn't take me so long. I just forgot. And then Streamer Brain couldn't see the folder. What flashpoint are you doing, Bitey?
Waiting for orders.
There's a couple of light specific
Got it. No
flashpoints that I remember being a pain in the butt. The original Raven flashpoint was atrocious.
Targeting for an alpha strike.
Which is why even if I don't plan on using them on a regular basis, I always make sure I have at least four light mechs for it, and I don't quite hit that bill right now because I have 2 45s and 2 35s. So I want to build out a couple more, another fire starter or two, but because of all of the monetary gains and losses I've had devoted to buying hunchbacks, I haven't built them out as fast as I normally would.
Roger.
Some kind of revenge. Solaris Gladiator killed a nobility. Oh, yes. Yes. I remember that flashpoint. I do remember that flashpoint. It's been a long time since I played it, though. Again, over a year. But I remember it. Is it one of the extreme consecutive battles type one where you get no time to rest between each one?
Standing by.
I know that's common in a lot of the flashpoints that you really need to avoid structure damage or have a preponderance of extra mechs to swap in.
Receiving you.
Yes, Commander.
And once Rifleman says he's back, I'll make sure he got to see the Princess Posse. I may have shown it when he was going AFK. And they're throwing quite a lot of stuff at you, and it's only 3 stars. You can't bring your big guns. Got it. Yeah.
Aye.
Again, that's when it comes to, so here's the downside of the BTA3062 mod. For any of the original flashpoints, anything that was built off that was from the core game or those extended DLCs or whatever, you're once again limited to 4 mechs. Just like you are in BTA Extended. There are a handful of either community built ones or maybe they were modded. I don't remember which. I think there's a couple of community ones that will let you use more than 4 mechs, but most of them you're limited to the old rules. And yes, the balance is rough. It's easier in BTA 3062 to do those because I still have all the gubbins. Like I can still take my crazy builds, and those flashpoints are not ready for a hunchback filled with clan tech. Like they're just not. So it can be easier, but especially before I do think they rebalanced the Raven one, which was notoriously the hardest, which you have to use all lights. And the design of that flashpoint is atrocious. So even but the last time I tried it last year, I found it way more manageable. But like I said, I think they redesigned it a little bit to be fairer and not as much bullshit. That was a flashpoint that I just gave up on ever doing again until I saw that notification about them rebalancing it. Now it's in a decent spot, from what I remember. But that's another reason why I want to show off the flashpoints on stream. At least a few of them, because they're fun. It's kind of a way to flex once you've got your core units, but also engage in some fun. There's at least one flashpoint that does attack and defend, which I don't know if that's a... I think it's limited to 4, so I think it's a generic one. I don't know how you survive that
Yes, Commander.
without losing half your mechs easily in vanilla. It's crazy. The fun part about those all the flashpoints though is you get so much raw money. It's the same thing with like the base campaign. Anytime you work for the Iranos, it's like, yeah, here's just a cool 2 million on top of whatever else. It's like, holy crap.
Going
That
to
doesn't mean
report.
you should do if it's being that BS, just drop it. Yeah. Well, dude, dropping 3 or 4 lances on me now, that's technically even. That's still brutal. Like all it takes is one bad luck, like I lost my one hunchback. I'm praying that my hunchback still exists. If it's totally destroyed, I'm sad. But I think it just took an engine hit. So as long as I win this fight, it didn't blow up. It was disabled. So every time I've had a disabling event, I've been able to reclaim my mech just fine. I don't know if that's possibly a setting I set, because Lord knows there's a ton of campaign settings you can set. I don't have this set to the hardest of balls
Copy that.
difficulty. There are some leniences, but yeah, being limited to 4 slots on the flashpoints is BS. I don't enjoy it. Again, that's one of my favorite parts of this campaign is running multiple lances. Oh, you just had no help. Picking the good options is also a benefit to those. I usually use, but to be fair, I've played this so many freaking times. You said you have 1,000 hours in the game too. I just consult the wiki and go, okay, what's the option I want to do here? What gives me what I want? Cool. Or gives me the rewards that I like the most? Cool. Pick that.
Receiving you.
I don't think about it too deeply.
Understood. Moving fast. Waiting for
I mean, I like turrets as backup. I don't mind base defenses.
Roger. Full
I
speed.
like having other things for the enemy to shoot at. But when you have 4 lances coming at you all at once, not so good. All I know is there's a wiki for someone put together a wiki which you can look at that does describe like the different
Confirmed.
loosely gives you an idea of what type of rewards you can get for the different missions. I don't think it's fully complete though. Not everything is fully in there, but at least it gives you an idea. Like I said, I'm well past the level of surprise. Sweet Jeebus, you guys are whooping my butt. This is not fun. All right, I'm gonna have to go to Solaris. I'm gonna have to queue up some Solaris missions here because I desperately need money. And Solaris 7 Game Worlds are a fantastic way to get a quick cash infusion. And I get surprised by stuff too. Like there's still, I mean, I don't remember which of you two said it earlier, but there's like 3,500 mech variants in this game. You can use excavator mechs in this game if you want. Now, why you would do that outside of the really early game, I think you'd only do it if you were trolling. But there's just so many things, and I constantly come up against like I don't remember what that is. Like I still have a goal for myself to eventually be able to get and field a Kodiak.
Target neutralized.
Not because I think it'll be good. I know that I'll be like, dude, this thing is way too slow.
Commander.
But the only way to get a Kodiak is to do like 4 and 5 star missions versus Clan Ghost Bear.
Roger. Full throttle.
Oh, as MacArthur said to the Philippines, I have returned. Excellent. Did you see the Princess Posse, or was I still fumbling to pull it up when you left? I just wanted to make sure you had the chance to see the ridiculousness.
Affirmative.
Now that I have it queued up, I can show it to you. Okay. When it's from the Princess Fluffles stuff. Zay was inspired. Here we go. Let me go flip over here. Bring it center. Make it visible. She made emoticons of all 3 of us as the Princess Posse because of the Princess Fluffles gag from that one stream. So there you go. There's the Princess Posse. I think she's still working on them, but that was the version I saved off. They'll probably show up at some point. She's made all sorts of silly stuff. In general, my emoticons have been all Cowcat related stuff. That will continue to be the case, but you know, when stuff happens on stream, jokes get out of hand, and then you get called Princess Fluffles, and you have two options. You get offended by it, or you make it your own.
Target confirmed.
I opted to have thick skin and run with it.
Receiving.
I just showed it to you for humor. I don't know when they'll show up, if ever. But they're at least being made, so I have to show off the humor.
Confirmed.
Like I said, that's kind of my goal, and I always go with I do everything with humor. I can't help it. It's just how I am. I try not to dwell in the dark. I think it's trying to at least have some fun in life is a better way to get through it
Giving everything I've
than dwell in the dark things. Though sometimes for everybody that's not so easy.
Standing by.
So if a little bit of self-deprecating humor helps others, I'm all for it. Now, if you need the eye bleach rifle, I'm rifleman. I'm not going to be offended. If you need to run away for a minute to cope, I get it. We're not making emoticons of you, so you're safe.
I'm receiving you.
They has been doing a bang up job though. She's putting so much effort on those stuff, so I just want to show off and be proud of what she's done.
That's a miss. Yes, Commander. Moving at full throttle.
All you missed realistically was Bitey and I talking back and forth. He was trying some 3-star flashpoint, and it was bullshit.
10-4.
Is that a good summary, Bitey?
Scored.
Cool.
Critical hit.
I'm not trying to scare you off. I was just showing you humor. But if it offends your sensibilities, I was not trying to do that either. I said I was just explaining the jokes at my behalf.
Yes, Commander. Acknowledged.
We'll see what other nonsense happens. We originally had a redeem so people could rename enemies on the screen.
Standing by.
Someone decided to rename the giant spider monsters we were fighting in Remnant 2 Daddies.
10-4.
It was very disturbing. Fortunately, it was only for a stream. Catch my reference to DBZA in the all hail. I tend to sub-reference nerdy all the time. Oh, that's me. My head is full of Simpson quotes back from when Simpsons was good, like in the late 90s, before it got really bad by the time I got to college. It was really, really bad. And other random stuff. So I'm trying to think we can be friends.
Right here.
More recently, I can't help myself.
Locking in target.
So I do audiobooks from time to time. I listen in the background, not while I'm streaming, obviously, but I don't really sit down and read like I used to, but I like doing audiobooks. And because of Nose, I've gotten into a little bit into lit RPG stuff recently, and the big one that has crossed the genre and that it's getting movies and stuff, and really anyone who just likes a good nerdy thing is Dungeon Crawler Carl. But more recently, I just started the 12th book of 13. The 13th one comes out in October, is He Who Fights with Monsters, and the humor is just this chef's kiss in that thing. So I'll make references to Jason Asano and his nonsense all the time. I've done that on stream many times. I've also alluded to Carl's catchphrase of "You will not break me" a few dozen times too. So most of my quoting stuff comes from the olden times, but there's a few new things that have cropped in there. I watched a lot of DBZ back in the day, but it's been a long time since I've seen it. I think I dropped off somewhere around the Frieza saga? Question mark. I know it kept going, but I think that's around the end of it. So here's my pitch for you for both of them. So, I am a cat person. Just be warned. I'm an animal person in general, but cats. The cow cat is my spirit animal. He is long passed away, unfortunately, at this point. But I'm dedicating my emotes to honoring him as the sweetest cat I've ever met.
Got it.
One of the two main characters, and this is not a big spoiler because it should happen within like the first 30 minutes of the game of the book. So in Carl, basically, all lit RPGs are usually people get transformed into a world that becomes kind of like a video game. In the Carl summary, basically,
Got it.
the world becomes a giant preserve / game show where people are kind of in a battle royale type thing with floors in it it's kind of in a loosely fantasy setting, but one of the two main characters is Carl's cat, Princess Donut, who is a former show cat, and she ends up getting a voice, and she is amazing. She's where a lot of the humor comes from in the show or in the books, but there's a lot of heavy themes in the book. It's very much about survival in general, though, because it's all about the deck is stacked against the people who choose to go into the dungeon. It can be really funny at times, but I mean they're basically fighting to survive. In the He Who Fights with Monsters books, the main character is an Australian who's half Japanese, and he's one of the most arrogant, smarmy sons of bitches I've ever met. But damn, does he know how to do witty banter. And it focuses more on kind of exploration and ludicrous stuff. If you get into it, you'll love Clive's wife. I'm not going to say anything else than that, but when you encounter it for the first time, you'll understand. There's just so many good characters, and it's a different style of humor. He also makes tons and tons of references, despite Jason only being about 20 years old and it being loosely contemporary to times. But remember, it's on the 13th and last book comes out in October this year. So I guess that means if it came out every year loosely, it started in 2013. So he's in his early 20s to start of the book. He has an overdeveloped sense of he loves 80s pop culture. They talk about Knight Rider and Airwolf and Tina Turner, all sorts of things in the book, off and on. Even though most of the characters in the book don't know what any of these things are, and it's kind of hilarious. So if you like those homages and whatnot, you might get a kick out of a lot of that fun stuff too. T4S. I'm not parsing the I really like Sword Art. I know that's a normie anime pick. Team 4-star. It sounds familiar, but I don't know why it sounds familiar. I'm probably streamer braiming blanking on it. If it's not something I've consumed, I have to at least have some awareness of it. I'm just not thinking of it. Sword Art Online is one of my normie picks. I love it so much. I really like that genre. I like Log Horizon as well, because between Sword Art and Log Horizon, they were two diametrically opposed takes on the same thing. Sword Art is very much like a very I mean, the basis. I know it going off the rails may not be the right word, but you probably know what I mean by saying that. Like, it changes a lot over time. But I mean, it starts with that very serious. It's like, no, you're in a very bad place. If you die, you die. This sucks, and the trauma that causes the survivors and that type of stuff was really cool. And then Log Horizons is like, yeah, I just magically teleported into a video game. Why? I don't know. We might tell you in season 3. I've never finished season 3 because there's that delay. I started rewatching it,
Affirmative.
and I got back through season 2, most of season 2,
Lock in target.
and then life happened, and I was never able to finish it, which makes me sad. Hey, thanks, Rifleman, for giving Bitey a tier 1 sub. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it.
Aye, aye.
That is fantastic. Hey, man, if we can just get
Here we
this
go.
much closer and cross that affiliate goal, we will be there, and then
Engaging target.
that will
No
be
retreat.
even more valuable.
Reporting critical
I
hit.
plan to, when Twitch becomes evil and decides to start introducing ads to my streams, I will account for that so people do not lose out. I will take breaks if I need to, so people, like, I'll use that as a good time for me to go to the bathroom and take care of myself, so no one misses anything. So if we're in a conversation, we'll pause so people don't miss. Not relevant right now, but I do plan to be that type of channel where, like, the community is king. So I really appreciate it. You've gone above and beyond anything that I expected. So appreciate it. Oh, Team 4-Star are the ones that did DBZ Advanced. Oh, right. With Ghost Nappa and stuff. I've never actually sat down and watched it from beginning to end or anything, but I've seen so many clips from it. I may have seen like the first small piece.
Come on, people.
DBZ Advanced
Let's
is
make it happen.
fantastic.
Mech
I
destroyed.
think it's way better than DBZ. DBZ
Passing by.
was okay for its time, and I was young when I watched it. But it's kind of the same
Alright,
thing over and over
what's
and over,
new?
isn't it? Does that mean to say? I mean, that's not uncommon in literature and shows and stuff. But it all comes down to they all fight, they get their butts kicked. Typically, Goku dies, someone else may die. Then he does like a massive training montage, and then sometime later he comes back and finishes off the big boss. And then there's a small downtime. They go collect some more Dragon Balls or whatever, or do something else nonsensical. Then the next boss shows up, and they then repeat, right? Like, that's kind of Dragon Ball Z in a nutshell. Which is why the mocking of it was fantastic. Dragon Ball Abridged is fantastic. Try Pantheon. First season isn't as polished, but honestly, its progression, I feel like, is better representation. It's on Netflix, but there are some licensing issues, only in some regions. Yeah,
Orders.
such a shame.
Moving at full throttle.
Pretty much the only subscription service I have now is, and this is recent for various reasons, but the only one I have right now is YouTube. But what's interesting is we're very, very quickly re-entering cable 2.0 era. The subscription services thought they were so smart, but they diversified so much and they made content so niche and hard to find that it's given the cable companies. Yes, of course. I mean, it's the same thing, right? Nintendo fights so hard to protect its IP, but you can emulate everything. They sue all the ROM sites out of existence, but you can still emulate all their crap on PC and have it at much better quality than if you play it on the Switch or Switch 2. Like, this is, of course, but I will quote the famous line, and I think you guys are both vibing on the same wavelength as me, but to start off, piracy is a service issue. And as is becoming more and more popular of a chant as they're trying to take away ownership and calling game when you buy a game a license, even for a single player game, if game purchasing isn't ownership, then piracy isn't theft.
Standing by.
I'm not pirating anything right now, to be clear, but I certainly understand where it's going. This is basically we're basically re-entering the Napster era, where the music industry got so arrogant and made things so freaking expensive that piracy was more attractive. That's what's happening with everything else. And also, as you've now said that you're only seen season 1, you would not be aware of the all hail jokes, so you should watch DBZ. DBZA Raleigh, check. Okay. Maybe I'll do that one night. I'll just sit down and veg.
Good to go.
Sounds fun. Like I've seen so many of the memes from DBZ Advanced or abridged, right? I keep saying advanced, but I mean abridged. I said all the Ghost Nappa stuff and whatnot, the Vegeta. It's fantastic. I appreciate it.
Going full throttle.
It's much better than what a lot of the current writers in Hollywood kick out most of the time. That's for sure.
Hell yeah. That hit something.
Why I preach, kind of like tying into our discussions with journalism earlier, Bitey, right? Like it's like, why would I go trust IGN directly when it's very clear that they're interested in still maintaining at least some level of access? They have less interest in offending the big publishers. I'd rather go find 2 or 3 people who review video games on YouTube, who I know they roughly like the same types of video games I do. I'd much rather and
Target locked.
I would more trust their opinion, even if they say that they don't like it. But I could read between the lines of why they don't like it and see if that's still enough to me to go like, yeah, but they don't like those type of things, but I do, so I'll like it. I'll trust them way more than some random dude writing for IGN.
All right, let's move. Fire all
Th-
weapons.
Change is hard, man. We live in a really crazy time, I gotta say. I've been expecting a little bit of social upheaval to be in our future here soon. I mean, or we'll go full on Shadowrun / Cyberpunk. Obviously more Cyberpunk, because I don't actually expect all of a sudden elves and orcs to pop up. That's a kind of a little silly. Could be cool. Don't think that's going to happen in reality. But like, we are kind of living in a very interesting dystopian late stage capitalism
Copy that.
hellscape in a lot of ways. And it's kind of frustrating. Not going any farther political, to be clear. We touched on that earlier. But
Firing full
it's just an
complement.
interesting society we're in. The whole mess with the AI bubble. I know not everyone agrees. You didn't hear us go off on our tangent yesterday, Rifleman. Like I said, I'm an amateur business geek. I follow 2 industries, roughly, and that is I'm a little bit aware of what goes on in the greater cable area, and but mostly video games and a little bit of Hollywood. I'm an amateur critic. I'm an amateur. I'm a theoretical amateur game designer. Not that I built anything. I'm an amateur writer. I got about 45,000 words into my novel. I don't know, a decade ago. No, everyone is a critic, but that's different than being. I'm making the I'm making the differentiation and saying amateur critic because so my viewpoint on how I look at things changed ever since I took that stupid film class in college. And I want to give you this example because it's kind of humorous. If I didn't take that class,
Confirmed.
it may have been another decade before I finally sat down to see the Seven Samurai. I wrote my paper. My paper for that class was all about comparing the Seven Samurai to the Magnificent Seven. Which, if you've never seen those 2 movies side by side and either appeal to you somewhat, I mean,
Affirmative.
I'm not saying the Seven Samurai holds up per se these days, but it is a fundamental beginning to part of film culture. It's good from that perspective, but that doesn't mean it necessarily is the most amazing thing you could watch these days. But it's a classic. But the sheer
Commander.
deftness and amazement that getting to spend my minuscule amount of money I had at the time to buy a movie that I always wanted to see,
Yes, Commander.
and an excuse to watch these two side by side. It just gave me this massive respect for what they did making the Magnificent Seven. And the other side of that class, the pain of it was they showed us nothing but modern and postmodern movies. And outside of the first 45 minutes of The Big Sleep, because the second half of that movie was god awful, and Chinatown, which, while good movie, the less we talk about Roman Polanski, the better. Those two, I learned that I hate modern and postmodern films more or less. No Country for Old Men was a fantastic more recent one. But anyway, because I took that class, kind of reshaped how I thought about things. It was the beginning of how I think about and how I criticize things. Like, it gave me appreciation of what, like, say, in that era, Siskel and Ebert were doing, right? Like, it gave me an appreciation of the critic craft, even if I don't necessarily hold a lot in common with the traditional, in this day and age, the today's gaming journalists or whatever. Yeah, Kurosawa was fundamental to a number of Western films. I agree.
I'm receiving you.
Wasn't it? Didn't he? Okay. Hey, I still have some coffee. Jesus, I haven't finished. All right, big gulp coming. I'm gonna mess up the movies. Oh, thank you for the hydrate. I definitely needed it.
Affirmative.
What? I'm trying to remember the classic Kurosawas, but wasn't there some crossover influence with the guy who did El Camino? Oh my God, Clint Eastwood. Jesus, I hate when names slip my brain. Like, was it Fistful of Dollars or something along those lines? Was like, I mean, one was the Western film, one was the Kurosawa film that influenced each other. I'm blanking on names and stuff, but like, I do know there was a lot of influence. That's why I respect him, and I'm happy that I got to. That class got me to see something that is a. I mean, let's be fair. Most of the younger generations now. I mean, I've already dated myself. You know, I'm an old fogey. Not that old, but I are an elder millennial
Awaiting orders.
versus I am not by no means a Zoomer or anything, right? Like,
Roger that. Proceed.
but getting to see those things, gives you a foundation.
Firing.
Folks of my generation, we kind of are like that last generation
Lifted some
that
heavy
straddled the
gun.
line pre and post the internet, right? I grew up,
Reporting.
and even in early college, while the internet was around, it was still in its formative stages, going back and forth from college to my hometown. I used AAA triptychs. Now everyone's got the a cell phone with Google or
That was it.
Waze or whatever the Apple version of it in their pocket, right? Hold on, I'm trying to approve this. Why is it not letting me? Or did it go through? I think did it go through? Go away. Oh, thanks for catching it, Nose. Let me see. It says, stop highlighting things the way I don't want. There we go. Yojimbo was inspired the spaghetti western genre, most notably Sergio Leone. Yes, Fistful of Dollars. Okay, which adapted its cunning, amoral Ronin protagonist into Clint Eastwood's iconic Man with No Name. Yes. Additionally, The Hidden Fortress. Okay, see, this is the education. The stuff I have in the back of my brain that I don't remember. Introduced Star Wars. Well, Rashomon, 1950, was remade as the Western The Outrage. And Harakiri loosely inspired the spaghetti Western Requiem for a Gringo. Perfect. Thank you for that little clip. That was a very good summarization of all that stuff. Yeah.
Yes,
This stuff's in the back of my head. Like, the fun part is I didn't really watch a lot of Westerns until they came back into prominence again for a little while with like 310 to Yuma.
Roger that.
Crap, what is that Leonardo DiCaprio one
Orders.
with the gunslinging? I always want to say Legend of Fall, but I don't think Legend of Fall was something
Roger.
else.
Full speed.
You know what I'm talking about, though. I did hydrate Zaya, but I will take another one. There you go. I just finished my coffee finally. Only 3 hours later. Quick and the Dead, yes. That was an amazing movie. Like there was like that thing, and then I know there's the Bear movie with Leonardo DiCaprio that came out later. I didn't watch that. But I know of it. That was before COVID, but like I don't watch a lot of films in the movie. I watch mostly action movies in the movie theater pre-COVID. But once COVID hit, I kind of just
Standing by.
because I didn't want to go to the theaters at that time,
Roger.
I broke myself of the movie theater habit as like a hobby. That makes sense.
Taking the shot.
And now more or less I learn a bunch about movies from like doing things like watching Red Letter Media. The Revenant. Yeah. It's interesting, like so on one hand, just as an example, because this is hilarious and it ties into other things we talked about, like I have consumed more content on the Acolyte series than if I had just sat down and watched the damn thing. I've watched so many breakdowns from very different groups of people. Some people that I do not like whatsoever and have no interest in consuming anything about them, but I watch some of their week-to-week breakdowns of it. So if I was to watch The Acolyte, that was probably 4 to 8 hours worth of content if you just watch the show, but I probably can consume something like 60 plus hours plus of content on the show.
Successful.
So I pretty much more or less know everything that happened in it. And I've seen lots of different takes on it. So I have a pretty good on handle on what The Acolyte is about, but I've never watched it. And that's kind of how I've moved to with movies at this point. I don't really watch them anymore. I still love them in principle, but I don't necessarily like what Hollywood has been doing lately. So it's also not been a massive loss. Like I haven't missed so many things. Like I probably should have seen The Martian. That sounded fantastic. There was that more recent space movie that everyone was raving about. I haven't seen The Odyssey. Yada yada. There's a handful of things that I probably should have gone to see. I just haven't. You know what? The last thing I think I saw in theaters, Zay and I went to see Project Hail Mary. Yeah. That was the other one I was thinking of. Yep. I should see these. I just haven't. The last thing I think we saw is we went to see a Psycho Pass OVA, I think, because they were doing a special screening of it. Well, we saw John Wick, but I think we saw that OVA after. John Wick might be the traditional last movie we saw in the theater. That was fantastic. And we still haven't seen the third one, I don't think, which is a shame. I know it's not quite as good as the rest of the franchise based on reviews, but I still should go see it. or well, not go see it. I should watch it on through a streaming service or something at some point. God, there's so much crap to choose from. What do I want? I'll take a bigger core. What can I get multiples of? I mean, I could build a mech, I suppose. Here, I'll do this for some money. And I will build you off stream for money. There we go. Fine. We take our salvage. R.C. Bray. He was he the I recognize. What did he narrate? I recognize the name. I'm trying to think. As an audit, you should read The Martian. I'm wondering if R.C. Bray did Expeditionary Forts. It sounds very familiar, and I can't remember who narrated those. Expeditionary Force is amazing. If you want some a sci-fi audiobook, I highly recommend it. Knows you saw Deadpool 2? I don't know that I saw Deadpool 2. I think I only saw the first one. But I was so engaged in the Marvel, the initial Marvel series. We watched so many of them. We didn't watch every single one. We watched a bunch. Oh, that's so painful. Okay, I'm gonna do that off stream. That hurts my soul. That's a complete rebuild. This was an expensive day. I'm gonna have to build and sell some X. Okay, guys. Reddit. Yes, I was right. Okay, he did Craig Allison's Expeditionary Forces. You got it. You got it, Zay. I knew I recognized that name. Expeditionary Force is amazing. Good mixture of humor and sci-fi. Main character is that Barney guy, and once you get Skippy, the asshole sidekick, and he would hate to be called a sidekick, it goes off the rails. All right, guys. We reached my time. This has been an amazing time, though. I really enjoyed hanging out with you guys. Everyone, please, I hope to see you again soon. I think tomorrow I should be off in the morning, unfortunately. We have friends coming into town this weekend. So I'm not quite certain what our schedule is through the weekend, but I guarantee you I should be back Monday morning for sure. I might be here Friday for in the morning. I might be here on the weekend for a little bit. I don't know. We'll figure it out. The schedule will be updated appropriately. But I am cool with doing this afternoon stream if you guys still are. I think that was still on the schedule. We'll be playing some Remnant 2 this afternoon, I believe, again. But my next Okay, if we're planning on doing the early morning streams, I mean, to be fair, they might be asleep in the beginning. I'm cool with that. So we'll update the schedule as it goes. But like I said, Rifleman and Bitey, I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. This has been a hell of a lot of fun and has made the day fly. We kind of been doing 2 streams with a little break in the middle. That's kind of been our jive as we've been diving into this. We'll see how it goes. The schedule is open to change a little bit. Oh, I can be a potato. I can be less of a potato this afternoon. That's fine. But I do really appreciate you guys dropping by, and you're always welcome. And hopefully we can hang out and chat some more in the near future. But until then, see y'all soon.